Hello and welcome back to another episode of Red Dot Forum Camera Talk. We are coming back at you like less than 2 weeks after our last episode, which is...
Don't get used to it.
Pretty amazing. Don't get used to it, right? We're going back to our regularly scheduled
Spoiling everyone.
First, the intros. So I am David Farkas. I am joined, as always, by Josh Lehrer.
Hey, everyone.
Over there. In there.
There you go.
Hello.
There, in the little box.
Over there?
Yeah, over there. Over there.
You got it.
We've got Jose Rivera producing the show. And we are back for a part 2 of our gearing up for summer travel that we...
Right, we didn't plan on doing a part 2, but as I very clearly stated in the middle of what is now known as part 1, we were not going to finish what we had to cover.
What Josh is saying is, I told you so.
Yeah,
Pretty much,
it was unsaid, but yeah, you said it.
Yeah, pretty much. It is said. It is said. So Josh told me, and you know what? I accept defeat.
That's right.
But the beautiful thing about doing our own YouTube show is we make the rules.
That's right.
So basically, instead of saying, "Well, we had our shot and we failed,"
That's right.
no, we didn't fail. We just took the opportunity
right.
to drop more knowledge about this topic.
This is a gift. This is a gift to you, the viewers, because we love you so much.
Yes. This is all about the love.
The chance to see us rambling on.
Exactly.
Although, to be honest with you, I was really happy with the feedback we got for the last show. I think it was really useful for a lot of people, and that's what also helped us be motivated for part 2, because we want to revisit some of the more popular topics from last time. We want to talk about some of the things we sort of skimmed over, and then get into more of the things we didn't cover at all on tonight's show, along with showing you some cool stuff along the way.
Exactly.
We also want to take more questions. I know we didn't really have a ton of time for questions last time,
because we were trying to barrel through, and
we will make more time for questions tonight. So please, please, please put your questions in the chat. I know some already came through, so
sure.
We are
First
here.
off, it might be confusing.
Yes.
Do not adjust your calendars or clocks. It is not Saturday. And I feel like the last one we kind of threw people off because we did it on a Sunday.
That's right.
So this is like 2 in a row of...
I know, not on a Saturday.
Little audible here.
Well, we got to mix it up. You know, we've been doing the show over 5 years, so it's time to see where... I'm curious to know what people think. Do you prefer Saturdays? How did you like Sunday? What do you think of Monday? We have...
It's 7 o'clock, not 8 o'clock.
That's right. It's a different day at a different time.
My gosh.
But it's the same fools in this little studio. So you know what? We're going to get into it. So
We are.
We kind of left off last time with SL. We didn't really get into SL as much as I think, would have wanted to.
Right. And let's just say, if you're just catching this for the first time and you haven't seen the other episode, you can click back. In fact, all of the Red Dot Forum Camera Talk episodes are available in the channel. All 90, maybe, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
We've done... We should do something really cool for 100, but that's a separate topic. So you can go back and rewatch that, watch the highlights, and just so we kind of recap, we covered the Q, the Q3 and the Q343. We covered the M, both in terms of film and digital, and color and black and white. And it's no mystery why we simply just didn't have time to get to SL.
Well, we kind of got the SL, just barely.
Barely, right.
An insane amount to cover when it comes to shooting with the SL for travel and travel photography. So we want to get into that a bit today, and we've obviously got some goodies to show.
And something happened just mere days after our last episode.
Mere days? Was it mere days?
It was mere days.
What happened, David? Tell us.
Leica dropped a whole bunch of new SL3S kits where you can save up to $1,400 by buying the camera and the lenses together. So that happened. Unfortunately, this should tell you everything you need to know. If we knew that was coming, we would have waited to do an episode. So
that's what they do. They just come out with stuff and go, oh, by the way. But it's a great opportunity if you were thinking about getting to the SL and one of those lenses to get what you're already going to get, save some money, and we can throw links in the
I will show this up and show this here. So if Jose wants to throw up a computer and you can talk about it. Or I could talk about it. Here we go. It's me. All right. So I have here...
obviously, these are just a quick interrupt.
Yep.
These are brand new, so we don't have them yet, but we will, of course. So when you see all the out of stock, we know. We're trying to get them, but you guys know how Leica is. They're slow.
Right.
So don't be discouraged. We will have them.
Yeah. So the first one they launched was the SL3S kit with the 28-70, which we did show in the last episode and which was announced. They added a 24 to 72/8 kit, which we also covered in the last episode briefly. The 24 to 70 and 70 to 200 kit, the 35 non-Apo SL Summicron, and the non-Apo 50. So anywhere from $800 some to $1,400 in savings. Why not?
Yeah.
So the way we see it, the way we see it is, that it is for new people coming into the system so they can kind of save and get a whole setup ready to go, whether that's, even a 24 to 70 and 70 to 200 will solve pretty much most people's needs out of the box. But also, let's say that you don't have one of the new lightweight zooms like the 28 to 70 or the 24 to 70, and you're looking for something different, and you don't have an SL3S, which, by the way, would be a fantastic choice for doing astrophotography or wildlife or video or event photography, any of those things where some of the other cameras, aren't quite to that level. So it's a good opportunity to pick up an extra body, but also some extra glass at the same time.
Absolutely. And we have all these lenses, except for the 28 to 70, we have on the table, which is continued proof. If anyone asks about, where's my 28 to 70? We don't even have one yet.
No.
And the ones we had, Leica has generously loaned us, but they do make us send it back for some reason. So
Twice now.
we will eventually get one, but we're not going to
I was afraid to ask them to borrow the same lens for a third time. It's like, by the way,
they should just send us more.
Just send us more.
I just casually saw a comment, like, eventually we are going to get to 100 episodes.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to do something crazy.
What are we going to do?
I think we do a power hour. First hour of the show. It's one shot of beer.
I know what that is.
Yeah. That'll make the second hour really interesting, I think. I don't know. I have some ideas for the 100th episode. Should we get some celebrity guests and we can have giveaways and fireworks and all kinds of stuff.
Fireworks in the studio?
Knowing us, we're not even gonna realize it's our 100th. We'll just do a regular show and then someone will be like, count things. Here we go. Anyway,
if you guys have ideas of what you want to see 100, I mean,
I don't even know where we're at now, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. We got a little time. Anyway, we got to get to the important stuff.
Let's get to the meat.
Okay, so you've obviously have you traveled with the SL3S yet?
Yes.
You have. Okay, so
wait, the S
not
or
the S.
the SL3?
No, but the SL3S.
Not yet.
Okay, because I have. Okay. I took it to Germany with me.
Yep.
So I've just started to now gain some travel experience with the SL3S because obviously both of us have shot SL3 pretty extensively. That's been one of our main.
Sure.
We've been SL guys since the original.
Yep. 10 years now.
But traveling with the SL3S has been interesting. Before I get into my experiences, I'm curious, since you haven't traveled with it yet, but you obviously know what the SL3S brings to the table.
Sure.
What's your kind of workflow in your mind? What would it be if you're going to go somewhere, thinking between the SL3 and the SL3S, knowing what they can do?
Yeah, of course. And I think they kind of each excel in their own areas. For me, I'm primarily a landscape photographer, so I gravitate towards the higher resolution of the SL3 because I think I said this in the last episode. The things that I'm photographing, trees and mountains and rivers, they don't really move position much, and mostly I'm using hyperfocal distance, which, by the way, Colin has a cool video on the channel that's really short, just a few minutes long, showing how to set hyperfocal distance on the SL body, so you don't have to scrub through all of our hours of rambling.
You could, though.
Colin lays it out just like right there, very, very easy to understand. So I use hyperfocal distance and manual focus mostly on the SL3 when I'm shooting landscape because I want everything in focus. I'm shooting at f8, at 16 millimeter or 24 millimeter or whatever. So I don't, when you say, oh, it does this many frames per second and this kind of autofocus, it's like, I don't need that, right?
Yeah.
And some people do. I don't for the majority of what I do. That being said, I am leaving just in a few days to go lead a workshop to the Faroe Islands. And it was a little bit of a, actually it was a little bit of a little fisticuffs between, virtual fisticuffs between Colin and myself because Colin will be shooting with the SL3S and I will be shooting with the SL3. And the thing is, it is about, call it a 2/3 landscape trip, but we are also going there to shoot puffins, which are very small and move very fast. He will get better wildlife photos than I will get.
Right.
Because he will have better focus.
Right. Well, he has faster autofocus for tracking with the SL3S, but also
The lens.
a higher frame rate while autofocus is still going.
Exactly.
You don't lose the autofocus at the higher frame rates on the SL3S like you do on the SL3. So that's something to consider as well.
The other thing, and the other reason that Colin's personal camera, he has a reporter,
SL2S.
SL2S reporter. One, he loves green. If you've never seen that camera, it's really gorgeous. It's this olive green with a Kevlar wrapping that is black, but will kind of fade to green with UV exposure.
It's really cool.
Yeah. And that's his personal camera. And now he's kind of incorporating the SL3S as well because it has some notable improvements over the SL2S. But he thinks that is a sweet spot because he is a landscape photographer primarily, or not primarily, but I'd say his sort of unique specialty and love is astrophotography. And Colin teaches about 4 astrophotography workshops a year for us. And yeah, for him, he loves either the SL2S or the SL3S for doing astrophotography because it's just so good at low light. And one of the things about doing astro, without giving you a whole lesson on this, is basically you can't just have a super long shutter speed.
Right.
Like you could if you're shooting, moving waves or something.
Right.
Because everything's rotating in the astro plane there, right? So because of planetary movement, anything longer than, and there's formulas basically, depending on the focal length you used, but basically anything longer than about 10 seconds, and the stars start to arc, and you'll see these little half moons. So you need to play with ISO in order to have a shorter or faster shutter speed. And the thing is, those cameras, the SL2S, the SL3S, are able to crank up the ISO to say, 6400 or 12,500 or even higher if you need it, and really, shoot it at 4 seconds, which is going to give pinpoint sharp stars. So that's why he uses it, and why most of the attendees on our trips shoot it. That is why. But for me, I still love the kind of that the full boat SL3. Because I'm not always shooting astro or rarely shooting it. I rarely shoot wildlife.
Yeah.
And that's that. I know that you shot some moving subjects when you were in Germany with the SL3S.
Yes, I think I mentioned this on the last show, but I went to the Nürburgring in Germany when I was there at the end of June, early July, which is a very famous, very big racetrack in Germany, about 90 minutes from Wetzlar, where Leica is. And I knew I was going there before I left, so I brought with me an SL3S and the 7200 because I knew I was going to be doing a lot of trackside cars moving photography at higher frame rates, so I wanted the faster autofocus. And I definitely knew I wasn't going to do anything crazy with those images, so the fact that I was shooting 24 megapixels was totally fine. I didn't need 60 megs. I didn't want to have to go through that much data, especially if I was going to do it on my laptop. So for me, the SL3S was perfect because I'm photographing these cars coming around these corners. Some of them are going, 70, 80, 90, 100 miles an hour, depending on where I'm on the track. And I can use, let's say, the 5 frames per second, which was fast enough to lock onto the cars and just follow them as they're coming at me and then moving away. And I can get an extremely high hit rate of in-focus images because of what the SL3S can do.
Now I'm going to ask you, this is kind of in the weeds, but
fire away.
What focus mode did you use?
I tried a few actually because I hadn't tried the SL3S for tracking yet, but I used continuous autofocus with, let me make sure I tell you the name of it. I'll turn this on. I don't want to get it wrong. So I used AFC for my focus mode, and I moved focus back onto the shutter. I like to do continuous focus on the shutter and single focus on the back button, so depending on my mood. But I found it with the car stuff easier on the shutter. And then my AF mode, I had field, and I just had a field either at or near the center. And then the focus settings, I had the profiles was the runner. The runner was the profile that I used for constant movement because the cars are moving very predictably. And so that was where I kind of found the sweet spot. But I tried a bunch of different modes, and not having used the SL3S in that environment before, and that's where I had the best results. So the key is very quickly identifying how you're going to focus, where you're going to frame the cars in the shot. Now, I'm not a racing photographer, but just as someone who likes cars, where I'm going to put the cars in the frame, where I'm going to put my focus point, the frame rate that I'm going to use in terms of the frames per second, which I went with the 5, which I think is the medium. and then figuring out which one of those focus modes was getting me the most in focus images. So I did a lot of experimenting in the beginning because I'm in a low risk environment. This is the perfect place to do that because I'm not at a race, I'm not being paid, I'm just having a good time. So I'm actually there doing, one round, I'm at one turn doing, okay, like the first round in this focus mode, and then the next round of that, and then I'm studying the images because that's hard to test. I guess I could stand on the side of I-95 and do that. short of having a death wish. It was an amazing opportunity for me to be in this beautiful, amazing, incredible environment with just there to have a good time and allowed me to test out some of those focus modes. The only thing I wish is that I had the 100 to 400 instead of the 7200 because there were times when I wanted to get like the cars coming at me. So lesson learned on that experience.
But, like coming before they hit the turn?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I had been there once, but I wasn't exactly sure how close I could get, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, that aside, it was amazing. So I carried with me the SL3S, the 7200, and then I think I mentioned this last time, I didn't bring it, my 50 Summilux Preaspheric M lens with the M adapter because really, for my autofocus and weather seal, whatever needs, I just needed the 7200. I needed the long lens for photographing the cars moving. And then when I was walking around trackside, going to all the side lots and different areas, I had the 7200 if I wanted to do static shots, but I also had my 50 Lux if I wanted something for a different look. And that's a setup that I use a lot when I travel. Is an SL body, whatever that may be, whether it's an SL2 or an SL3, with one or two SL lenses that are really like tool lenses, like really specific to the task at hand that I know I'm going to use. I know I need the autofocus. I know I need the weather sealing. And then like a fun lens. So that's almost always an exotic M lens, something vintage, or R lens, or something really wacky, or like a TL lens, like a 35 or a 60 TL. And then I had that kind of dual purpose kit in the bag.
Yeah, that's cool.
If that makes sense.
Cool. Yeah.
That was a long rant. We should we should probably take some questions.
People are always asking us like, what autofocus should I use, right? So
we should probably take some questions. Before we get too deep into everything. So Jose, would you like to ask us a few questions before we get off the rails?
Yeah, sure.
Fire away.
One of the questions is about bags and SL.
We're gonna get to bags, so we're not. Okay. Let's do that yet.
So we're not
gonna wait as long as we did last time before we get to bags. I promise.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Question: keep my SL2S and add a Q2 monochrome reporter to the mix, or sell SL2S for SL3 and use that in black and white when wanted. So,
okay. Yeah. First of all, why would you get a Q2 monochrome reporter? I mean, unless you have an SL2S reporter. What I mean is like you're paying a huge premium.
Yeah.
So read it to me one more time. That's a lot.
Yeah. Keep my SL2S and add a Q2 monochrome reporter.
Okay.
Or sell the SL2S for an SL3 and use that in black and white when wanted.
Ah, I see. Well, I'm going to say it depends. It depends, like I always say, because the Q2 monochrome is going to give you a new level of functionality you don't have, which is a monochromatic camera and also a compact full frame camera, right? The SL2S, even at its smallest configuration, like with a TL lens or something, is never going to be as small as a Q2 monochrome. But the SL3S or the SL3 I'm not sure which one you would go for, brings a whole new suite of features the SL2S doesn't have. So you need to decide which one of those two things is going to give you more value and more quality to your photography.
Yeah.
A unique, compact, monochromatic camera, or all of the features the SL3 or the SL3S has over the SL2S. So I can't answer that question without knowing all of the context, but that's kind of how I would think about it.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
All right, let's see. 28 to 70 millimeter zoom lens, good resolution and rendering for high megapixel cameras.
Oh, we had a whole episode.
We have a whole episode on that. So watch that show and you will see that lens is actually surprisingly good for the price point and the size. It's awesome.
Yeah, on the SL3 it's great. So.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. Yeah.
We just can't get them.
Not yet.
Let's see. We have a question related to the film MP. I don't know if we want to.
That's fine.
This one, yeah.
Well, we can answer M questions because we didn't answer as many as we should have last time.
Yeah. So it says, I'm traveling to France in a month and planning to bring only my MP. I've read a lot about putting film through airport scanners multiple times. Might be okay, might not.
Never
So I'm thinking of waiting to get to Paris to buy the black and white film, shoot it, and develop it there before coming back.
I mean, there's good labs in Paris, so I would go option 2 because film is available there. You're not going to the middle of the desert, or the mountains. Like you're going to Paris. So if you were heading to some place like Paris or London or Rome or Frankfurt, there's widely available film and processing in those places. Just do a little research ahead of time. Look up Google reviews or whatever to make sure that the lab is good. Just be aware that traveling with film and putting it through the machine is worse than ever, because it used to be the old box X-ray machines that were in the airports would just scan from one direction. Now, if you've ever seen the screens that the security agents are looking at, they're these tubes, and they scan. They're basically like CAT scans, and they scan
CT,
300. CT scan.
Yeah.
And they're 360 degrees, and they can flip those things around. They are getting bombarded with all of the X-rays, and they're doing it at different levels, so they can pull out contrast and whatever. So it's probably. I mean, not like an X-ray technician expert, but I'm going to say it's multiple times more radiation than it ever used to be. So please do not put film through there. If you're going to shoot film, hand inspect it, because the other thing that we have today in airport security that didn't exist back when, I was shooting gallon bags full of film, which is you ask them to hand inspect it. They don't have to just look at it with their eyes. They swab it with the chemical testing, and they're okay.
Well,
so just allow more time.
Yeah, but every airport is different. And even sometimes within the same airport, different lines are different.
It's true.
So worst case, you could always call up the airport beforehand and ask them if they have a hand check. But even then,
generally,
so it's better. The best case scenario is to buy the film at your destination and have it developed at your destination. That's not always realistic.
It's not always realistic.
So you're going to have to experiment.
You can also, depending on where you go, you could do what the old National Geographic correspondents used to do, which is send it back to the U.S. FedEx. So if you want, you can send it to the lab.
That's that risky if it's.
But then that's a little risky putting everything in one box. So
there's no perfect scenario.
No, and I'm also going to say, do not. How many times was that? Was that a lot?
Several times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do not use lead bags. They don't work.
Someone just literally said, "I use a lead line bag." I saw on the CT scan.
Don't use a lead line bag, because if they see that, they're going to zap it more to see through the lead bag, or they're going to tell you to take it out, they're going to zap it again.
Just ask for a hand check and
ask for a hand check.
Yeah,
and please, I have found the best luck wherever I travel in the world that a smile goes a really long
way. Just be friendly. That's it. Yeah.
Be nice. Do not be agitated. Do not get angry. Do not. I want to speak to your supervisor. Right. Don't do that. Because
you say that you shot your firstborn, your first child with that film, and they have.
That's right. That's right. There's precious memories on there.
Yeah. So I know. Thank you so much for your patience. I know it's a little bit of a hassle, but this is really important to me, and whatever. So just be friendly, be nice, and allow extra time so that you don't feel pressured where you lose your cool or whatever. Just if you have film, allow 30 extra minutes for hand checking and everything like that.
Next question.
Yeah. All right.
That's an important one, though.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Thank you.
It is. Hold on. I think we got a follow-up on that SL question about the Q2 Monochrome reporter.
All right. Fire away.
All right. So he says, to clarify, will megapixel and tech updates in SL3 make a dedicated monochrome mostly obsolete?
No.
Or keep both color and a dedicated monochrome because performance is still noticeably better?
Right. A monochromatic camera is always going to be better than an equivalent resolution or even slightly higher resolution color camera for monochromatic images, especially if you want to use color filters, which you can't do on a color camera. But because the Q camera and an SL camera are so fundamentally different, to me, it's more than just about the sensor in your case, because you're saying a Q2 monochrome or an SL3 or an SL3S, which are two fundamentally different cameras. If you tell me, well, I need to shoot 90, I don't care how good the Q2 monochrome is, it ain't got no 90 on it. So don't get a Q2 monochrome. So what I'm saying is you need to consider all the factors and all the kinds of photography you're doing, because you're talking about two very different formats of camera in sense of a Q versus an SL. Anyway, what else?
Cool.
Want to take a few more questions before we dive in?
Yeah, the reason I'm doing a few is because we kind of really shorted them on the questions last time.
We did.
So I figured until 7:30 we could do questions.
Yeah. And then we got a lot to talk about.
I know, but this way
we're going to get to the end of this one. Never talking about bags.
No, at 7:45 we'll talk about bags. That's 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Okay, go.
SL3 travel kit. Better to use SL primes or M lenses with adapter to keep things light?
Well, okay, we are actually going to talk about that specifically. So
we can talk about that now.
Let's take a few more questions.
Wait, we'll talk about that later.
We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. In a few minutes. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Okay.
All right, okay.
Hydrate.
Let's see. Love my M11, but I've missed so many shots on account of the slow startup time. Firmware update? When?
I mean, I never turn the M11 off when I'm using it, so
Is that?
I never turn any camera off when I'm using it. I've ranted about this. If you don't mind,
No, go, because I have another opinion on this too.
Oh, I've ranted about this a lot, but if I'm photographing, so my camera's on. And the only reason to turn your camera off while you're not using it is because you want to save battery life. But if you're going out with not enough batteries to last all day, then why are you going out at all? What's your counter argument to that? Or what are you going to say?
Check what memory card you have. We just encountered this issue with someone who had a fairly large memory card, but it turned out to be an older UHS 1 card, which, by the way, Leica even warns not to use in the M11. And it was taking a pretty long time to start up because the camera, when it turns on, it checks its internal memory and it checks the card. And it makes sure that the card is correctly formatted, that there's space available. And if you have a really slow card, it could take a bit. So definitely use a faster UHS 2 card. And especially in the M11, I like to use 128s or 256s. 256 is nice also because it mirrors the internal memory, but I really don't go larger than that. I know there are cards that are 512 and 1 terabyte, but the thing is you do start lengthening this startup time just because it has to do
or just don't turn it off, problem solved.
Or don't turn it off.
I'm just saying. Just leave it on.
I'll say for me, I sort of take a completely opposite approach to Josh, which is Josh's approach is not wrong. But when I'm shooting, I typically turn off the power saving mode, right? I don't like when it turns off because then to wake it up, it's unexpected. But because the switch is right here, what I usually will do is if I'm walking around and I'm actively shooting, I have the camera down at my hip on a crossbody strap, which we'll talk about, right? And if I see a picture, before I lift it up away from my hip, I grab the camera like this and I turn it on. And as I turn it on, I lift it up to my eye, it's ready to shoot.
It's crazy. Just leave it on.
I want
to follow you around.
I don't do this.
I want to follow you around. It's like, you flip the switch in your camera when you're not.
But I don't do that. I don't turn it on
right
after I get it to my face and then miss the shot. You just have to get used to that sort of, muscle memory of while you're lifting it up, and you can't even hear because of the noise cancellation, but I flip the switch while it's going like this, and then by the time I get it to my eye, I can shoot. See, it's shot. And then I turn it off and put it back away.
Because then you brass up your power switch and you lower your trade-in value.
I love doing that, just to make you happy.
Just leave it at home.
So those are two diametrically opposed things that accomplish the same thing, which is if you never let the camera go to sleep and you just leave it on, you're not going to miss a shot. But also, if you just get used to turning it on in the time it takes you to lift the camera to your eye, you'll be fine. Either way works. Mine, I burn batteries because I'm taking pictures. I'm okay with that. I generally don't burn batteries just because I'm walking around dangling, but whatever. All right.
Next question. We got, one more because it's 7:30. One more question.
Okay. 50 Summilux spherical version 2 or 50 Summilux Classic is the only 50 millimeter lens?
They're two totally different lenses, so it depends on what you're photographing, right?
Watch our 50 episode.
But yeah, I mean, but you can't ask that question. You can't ask that question without giving me context.
I know.
Because those two lenses are so different, especially wide open. I mean, they're different weights, different minimum focus distance, different kinds of hoods, different performance wide open. Sure, they get better as they stop down, but they're so different that I would have to know the kind of photography you're doing and your criteria for performance and all that stuff. So I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and just a last quick question.
Yeah.
What specific SD cards do you guys use?
Yeah, we have them.
What are the odds that David asked me to bring this one?
Here we go. These are the ones I use right here.
Can we show it on the overhead? Yeah.
This is what I use. Boop, there we go. So I use the Lexar 1667X. Josh can attest to how many of these cards I actually have, but they are 250 megasecond read and 120 megasecond write. I actually use these exact cards. I use 2 packs of 128s in the M11 and the Q3. Sometimes I will use 256s, which I also have somewhere around here. But generally, 256 will get me through a pretty solid week of shooting. I rarely shoot more than 256 gigs on one trip, so one of these is good. I always carry an extra in my bag as well, because invariably the people around me need memory cards, so I'm always there at the ready. You can make a lot of friends if you have spare SD cards. And they're not a lot of money. We have them on our, let me see.
We do sell them.
We do sell them.
At LeicaSoyami.com, which is
let me see.
the thing that keeps the lights on in the studio.
Let me see. Okay, memory cards. Here we go. What do we have?
Want to go to the screen?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go. So the 2-pack is $80 for two 128 cards. They're $40 a piece, or you can get a 256 for $80. It's all the same.
There's no real savings here. It's
There's
just
no
a
real
matter of how
savings.
much space you need. These are cheap though.
Yeah.
These are good. These are what we use. And we used them first before we decided to pick up the brand and start selling them because we liked the performance.
Yeah, and then if you're using SL, we do recommend using the CF Express because they are just crazy, crazy fast. So these are good. They are a little more money, right? So if you're looking to save money and you don't need the speed, the SD cards still work great in the SL.
Yeah.
You don't need to use Compact Flash Express, but man, let me tell you,
it's fast.
When you plug this in at the end of the day, and Lightroom just goes, boop, and it's all there.
Yeah, it's pretty satisfying.
It's as fast as the fastest SSD that you can plug into your computer.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Like the convenience. It's not. I always explain to people that having a fast memory card isn't because you want to shoot fast.
Right.
It's because you value sleep at the end of the day, like me, and you have to download your photos. Which, by the way, this is a good segue. I call it good digital hygiene when you're traveling. Good digital hygiene when you're traveling is do not wait to download all your photos when you get home after the trip is over. And I am going to take this opportunity to talk about this. You should be downloading every night
Onto a laptop.
onto a laptop or an iPad.
Okay.
If you're traveling with an iPad, that's fine, no judgment. I prefer using Lightroom Classic on a full laptop, and we were just talking about this, but it's amazing how capable and small and light and affordable computers have gotten. You can even get one of the new M4 MacBook Airs, and with 16 gigs of RAM standard now, they'll handily take care of any of the Leica files. And you got a computer that weighs a kilo or 2.5 pounds and can easily handle all these photos. And it's like $800 now, $900 for a really capable laptop with a great color accurate screen. No, we are not selling Apple. I'm just telling you what you can do.
Don't ask us for which Apple to buy because
Almost anything.
Almost anything.
Okay. But at the end of the day, you should be downloading your photos, and there's a couple reasons for that. One, what happens if you leave your camera somewhere, or it falls in the ocean, or whatever happens, you leave it in a taxi, or the memory card gets corrupt, which isn't as common these days as it used to be, say, 10, 15 years ago, but it can still happen. So what you want to make sure is that you never lose more than 1 day's worth of photos, right? If you're downloading every day, and there's a great feature in Lightroom that says don't import suspected duplicates. There's a checkbox right on the import window, which means you can put the same card in and keep filling that card up. Do not erase it when you download the photos. Keep filling the card up, keep downloading just the new photos every night, and take a few minutes, or maybe more than a few minutes, but look through your photos and make sure that everything is the way it's supposed to be. Make sure that, oh, I didn't realize I was shooting everything at 50,000 ISO. You may not realize it on the camera, but you can see it pretty clearly there. Or, gee, I didn't know I was shooting everything at 5 seconds, or...
Well, we just had an individual who went to Europe. I don't want to get too specific because they're watching, but they went to Europe and shot for 5 or 6 days with their M11, I forget what it was. It turned out they had a corrupt memory card and all the images were black, like just a black frame from the whole
They would
trip.
never know that.
And it wasn't the camera. We did a ton of testing. It was just that one corrupt card, a card that we didn't sell, by the way. But anyway, I mean, if they had just done what David was doing the first night, they would have immediately realized something was wrong and switched cards. So that is a really, really good piece of advice.
I have had this happen to me. I have had corrupt memory cards where I was in a place and the picture was half green, wavy lines, and it looked like, a old television signal where you saw half the image, and it was all scrambled. And the pictures on the back of the camera looked fine. And a lot of people say, well, why does it look okay on the back of the camera, but when I download it, it's all garbled? The reason is they're two separate files. There's a preview file a preview JPEG that's basically embedded, and then there's the full RAW file. If the RAW file is corrupted, but the preview JPEG is fine because it's really small, you won't even know on the back of the camera that you have corrupted RAW files, which could be why that gentleman didn't even know. So you just want to make sure that you download every day, and someone says, well, but I only have, 256 gigs of storage space on my laptop. I don't have space for that. Okay, you get yourself one of these.
Is that some gum?
This is some chewing gum. Now here, Jose, you can show this too, and I have links to this stuff in the description. We don't sell these either. I'm just showing you because it's a good product. So this is a Crucial Memory. They actually are one of the manufacturers. They're owned by Micron, and this is a 2 terabyte drive that you can get for about $150. You can see it's super, super small. And this one is a 1,000 megabyte per second transfer speed, USB-C, way faster than a lot of the older like Samsung T5 drives and things like that.
And again, just to be clear, you don't have to write this down. Like
It's in the
description. Like if you expand the description for the video,
Yes.
David has links all nicely organized to everything he's talking about. So you can, it's always there. It's not going anywhere. When this video gets posted to the channel, that's going to be there. So do not worry.
And I just want to show.
Ooh, the baggie.
Well, okay, this is my bag.
Very sophisticated.
This is my bag of external drives.
Oh my goodness.
But as you can see, I don't like to erase things, so I just keep going. All right, but I just want to show you here. This has my name on it, which I haven't had a chance to label this one. But this is an older Samsung T5 that I was just saying. It's about, I think this is 500 megasecond. It's fine. This is small. This is a 500 gig drive, so it's pretty old. I've now upgraded everything to 2 terabytes. But I put my name, my phone number, and my email address on this tag. Yep, I know.
You're gonna get so much spam.
And the reason for that, and I just use our handy dandy Dymo label printer
right.
here at the office.
That's right.
And the reason for this is quite simple, because if you lose one of these and it has all your pictures on it, you want those pictures back. And I'm going to talk about this also. This is a great segue.
Okay.
Great segue.
You're just doing your own segues now, I see.
I'm doing my own segues into my own thing.
Take it away.
This is all that digital hygiene. So a lot of people, and this is a common question that we get. Like, what do I do with my images? How do I back up my images when I'm traveling specifically? So there's kind of a process. You want to make sure you get into kind of a standard procedure where you don't think about it, you just do it. So let's say that your computer drive that you have 2 terabytes or 4 terabytes or whatever, great. Put all your pictures on there. If you don't have the space, these are super fast, nice SSDs, and I'm going to do this on purpose. They have no moving parts in them, okay? These are very durable, and you don't have to buy the big rubber armored overpriced ones. All these are, again, they're solid state.
We get it.
You get it, okay?
I see pictures are leaking out to the table here.
Which is also my public service announcement to say, do not buy spinning external hard drives.
Right. Can you even get those anymore?
You can.
Oh.
Unfortunately, you can. Do not buy external spinning hard drives, even if they are rubber, orange rubber on the outside. It doesn't matter. If you do the same thing, it would be toast. Solid state drives, they take up no space and they're reliable. Okay, so let's say you have all your pictures on there. I absolutely recommend keeping your Lightroom catalog on your hard drive or your storage drive of your computer, not on this. And something else I like to do is make sure that it's in a cloud backup folder, whether that's a Dropbox folder that replicates a Dropbox, whether it's an iCloud folder that replicates to iCloud, whether it's a Google Drive that goes to Google. I don't care what cloud service you choose to use. If you put your Lightroom catalog in the cloud drive folder that you have on your computer, of whatever that is, that means that every change that you make in Lightroom, all of that gets sent to the cloud. And it allows you to have all your photos here, but all your data of all the edits and all the selections and cropping and everything you've done, the real hard work, is being backed up constantly every time you're on Wi-Fi. This, let's say your photos are on here. Also make sure that you keep your memory cards and you do not format them. For me personally,
He never formats them.
I never format them.
You know how many memory cards are within a 20-foot radius of our hands right now? Like 100.
I never format them, but let's say that you're not as crazy as me and you want to reuse memory cards. That's fine. Wait till you get home. Wait till you get home and you're in a safe environment. And I don't mean safe that like, where you're traveling is, going to get abducted or something like that. What I mean is there's no chance of accidentally losing your drive, because I have lost a drive on an airplane coming back from a trip to Iceland, which is why I started labeling them all. And I never did find it. But all of my Lightroom edits were on the computer, and I had all my SD cards from the trip, and all I did is I got another drive, loaded them on the drive, plugged it in, and magically everything worked again. So did I lose a drive? Yes. Cost me like $150. Did I lose any of my photos or lose any of the work that I put in? No. I kept everything. That is the whole concept of having a good backup plan. And like I say, good digital hygiene when you're traveling. It's so important because you're going all this way. You're, spending money to travel. You've got all the best gear. And if you don't do that bare minimum to make sure that you come home with all your pictures, what was it really for, right?
Yeah. And I would also say Leica is incorporating internal storage in a lot of the cameras now,
Fantastic,
the M cameras, which is another great way to back up images, at least to a certain point. But do be mindful of that, in terms of if you have images that are uniquely stored on that internal storage, to back that up as well by plugging the camera into a computer directly or by transferring images from the internal storage onto the SD card.
Yes.
I just wanted to mention that.
Good call.
Yeah.
And someone asked, do I fill up the cards and then physically archive them? Yes.
No, you don't. Well, if by physically archive, you mean casually toss.
In baggies. I have little plastic bags everywhere.
Oh, I wish you guys could see the archive. It's like to organize your archive, you would need a broom. Let's just leave it at that, okay?
Well, and I will give, because invariably the question's going to come up with, do I just have 1 million of these? I mean, yes, but no. I don't have all my photos in these. So what I do when I get home, like Josh was saying, I have a NAS, which is a network attached storage device that has multiple hard drives in it. And I put everything onto that, and that is redundant, so I can lose any 2 drives in there and not lose any data. And then that is backed up to Dropbox. So that means I have the original memory cards. I have for a while the pictures that I have on these external drives. And then I have everything in the cloud as well. So my Lightroom catalogs are backed up to the cloud and my raw files are backed up to the cloud. Again, if you're going through this effort to do this thing called photography, digital photography is not free. You still have to put the photo somewhere. The good news is space is becoming cheaper and cheaper. Memory cards are less expensive than they've ever been, and cloud storage continues to grow and expand. It's all good.
Yeah. Any questions?
That was a lot. That was a lot.
Yeah,
but it was important that we covered
No, it was. Let's give David a breakdown and take some questions.
I need to breathe. I need water. I gotta hydrate.
And we're not going to get too deep into the technical computer stuff yet. That's a different episode we will cover later. So I think that's it.
Hopefully that was enough.
That's it for
whatever.
Now. Camera questions, Jose.
Camera questions.
Yes.
All right, let's see. Okay. We've talked about choosing which focal lengths to bring along for travel, but when do you choose to travel with bigger, heavier lenses, like Summicrons versus Summilux for M, or 24-90 versus 28-70?
That's a great question. I love that question because that comes down to the planning. And it also comes down to your familiarity with your gear and what it's capable of. So for someone like David, who travels a lot with big zoom lenses, he is very familiar with what those lenses are capable of. So for his landscape photography, where he knows he's going to have a backpack to carry the stuff around and a tripod when he's using it, meaning the weight is not really in his hands or hanging around his neck very much, he's trading off the size and weight for the performance and flexibility. Whereas if I'm going to New York City for a weekend and I bring in the most minimum possible setup, I may bring the smallest possible body and a 50 Summicron, for example, because I know that I'm going to be shooting an f8, in the streets in the sun anyway, and it doesn't matter. So I'm trading off the flexibility and performance for size and weight. So that comes down to really being familiar with your equipment to understand its capabilities and its shortfalls in terms of practical flexibility and use, and also imaging and performance and look, because that's going to help you decide, okay, maybe that Summilux is kind of heavy or that Noctilux is kind of heavy, but wow, the images that you take with it are magical in those certain environments. So you know that it's going to be worth whatever it takes, whether it's paring something else down, bringing a backpack or a sling or a bigger strap, whatever, to work around it because the results that that particular lens gives you are worth whatever the other compromises you have to make around it. I think that's the biggest misunderstanding when it comes to the perception of certain things being really large or really heavy, and not just within Leica, but with any kind of photography, is it's hard sometimes to get past that if you haven't put that lens or camera through its paces, or at least given yourself a baseline familiarity with what it can do that something else in your kit cannot do.
I mean, I know how much you love it when I give car analogies.
Your car analogies are usually terrible, but all right, go ahead.
Here we go. So here's a car analogy. If all you drive is like a little, two-door or two-seater sports car, right? Let's say whatever, a Boxster or a do they even make those anymore?
The Boxster is still in production.
Boxster or like a Miata or whatever, a little tiny little car.
Yep.
Okay, and that's your daily driver. And then you go and rent a like a Ford Expedition or a Suburban or something. Like you're gonna be like, whoa, this car is so huge. I could never drive this. I could never park this. And then you drive it around for a week, and suddenly you can park it and you can drive it, and you've survived, right? And it's just a matter of you're so used to a certain size and a certain aesthetic that it just takes your brain a little bit of time to mentally adjust to sitting higher, to having a bigger car, whatever, where at first it feels awkward, it feels unusual, it feels uncomfortable, and then you just settle into it.
Okay.
How was that?
Yeah,
Was that
that's okay. I mean, the way that I would sort of expand on that is like, you would want to drive that SUV around your hometown first, around the roads that you know,
if you
to
can,
understand what it can do before you take it out on your cross-country road trip. Because the 24-90, just as an example of a lens that's heavier than most Leica lenses on average, can do things that a lot of the prime lenses cannot do. Because it has prime lens performance in a weather-sealed, autofocus, electronically aperture-controlled zoom lens that's like crazy good. So each tool has its place. Not every tool is right for every job, and the more you're familiar with those tools in your kit, the better your results are going to be. Now, of course, if you don't own it and you're going to rent it, just give yourself at least a long weekend or a couple of days before whatever it is you're going to use it for seriously to get used to it and understand what its capabilities are.
Now, talk about this some more, Josh, because we actually talked, I know it's a secret, but we talked about some of this stuff at the LSI meeting.
Yes, we did.
But I know
we had to.
It's a secret.
People paid good money for that presentation. Yeah.
But can you touch on a little bit of what you mean by getting to know something before you need to use it?
Of course.
Yeah, talk about
It's actually one of the most sort of ironic things that I see is I work with individuals with these unbelievable Leica collections, whether it's collections of special things or just regular things that you would use on a day-to-day basis. And how little the stuff gets used to the point where they're going to go on a trip or a photo workshop or an adventure, and they start wondering like, well, should I bring my 50 Lux or my Noctilux or my 50 Apo? And I'm like, well, you have this incredible kit. Well, which one have you liked shooting with the most lately? Like, well, I haven't used it in 6 months. I'm like, bro, you're killing me. So this comes down to exercising the gear, even if you're not going out to Paris or the Outback or whatever to use it, so that you have a sort of mechanical hands-on familiarity with how the equipment works and handles ergonomically in your hands and how it feels around your neck or around your shoulder, and also the kind of results you get with it.
I mean, this is true of anything, right?
For sure, yeah.
Right. It's true of anything. Like, do you think a professional golfer, like, doesn't pick up a golf club and then just goes to a tournament? They practice, right? They go to the range, whatever. They practice.
Yeah, I mean, that's the.
I'm just saying,
Yes.
in any kind of discipline, no matter what it is, practice helps. Familiarity with your equipment helps.
And this lack of that, which is fine. I mean, we're here to help, right? So some of the stuff we have to learn by doing. The lack of that is why so many questions are answered with "it depends." By us, because we need to know more about the kind of photography you're doing, the kind of camera equipment you want to handle and use and practice with and utilize in order to give you a recommendation. And everybody's got to start somewhere, and that's okay. That's what this show is all about, is helping you get started and take off running. But if you have, let's say 5 cameras and 5 lenses or whatever it may be, if you're planning on using any of that equipment for a serious photography outing, whether that's locally or on a workshop or somewhere exotic, you really want to make sure that you are practicing with that equipment, that you're becoming familiar with it, both in the way that it handles and the way that it performs, by looking at the images and not deleting the bad ones, but actually looking at the bad ones, understanding the pitfalls and the advantages and the mistakes you could make before you go on that trip.
Yeah, and I always say, practice makes less bad. I mean, that's true.
Well said. Yeah, that's true.
Like, believe me. How long have we been taking pictures and
a very long time.
Okay,
Yes.
would you say that you are a perfect photographer?
I am the opposite of a perfect photographer.
We are not perfect.
Yeah.
We are not perfect. No, I can't think of a perfect photographer that every single picture they take is a fine work of art. No. I mean, you might only see those kind of pictures because you have the choice to show people that or not.
That's right.
But basically, I live by that mantra that practice makes less bad. The more you do it, the more you realize what doesn't work. Sometimes that's more important than figuring out some secret. You know, wow, this just got really meta, but like, if you're watching two guys on YouTube telling you, do this for the perfect shot. It's like, no. Okay, first of all, it's probably like in this one very specific circumstance.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that you can learn more from your mistakes than you can from your successes, because you will know what not to do. You will know what it looks like if you're shooting at the wrong ISO. You will know what it looks like if you don't have the right shutter speed or if you missed focus. Believe me, those are very visible, like, wow, I shouldn't have done that. You know, you did your testing at the Nuremberg ring and you could see what didn't work.
Oh, for sure. I mean, right away, like, and that's even though that environment is hard to get to, that's still a very safe environment for me with very little risk because I'm just there for fun.
Yeah.
So that if I have to photograph a serious race or if someone hires me to do a car shoot and I have to do a certain thing, I can use that knowledge and experience I gained from that low risk environment to then be ready for the high risk environment or the higher consequence environment. So I think it's really important just to put that gear to work. And I know you can't do it every day or even every weekend, but even once a month. For example, for me, there's a local Cars and Coffee once a month, the last Sunday of the month. And it's very chill and it's fun and I just see my friends, but I always go and I usually bring a different camera setup each time. Now, of course, I work at a Leica store, so I get to do that.
Sure.
But whatever you have in your kit, my point being is I'm going there and I'm practicing with this gear so I can understand its capabilities so that when I'm in a more serious environment, let's say a big car show or something that only happens once a year, I can say to myself, oh, yes, I know I used that 1.2 Noctilux on that last show and that was perfect, but I don't want to use this because it wasn't. And that familiarity is what allows me to answer my own "it depends" kinds of questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a lot. I guess that's my turn to ramble. So,
do you need to hydrate?
It's almost 8 o'clock. I think I should show a cool thing.
Yes.
And then we should talk about bags.
Yeah, and straps and other accoutrements.
Bags and straps, and we gotta talk about these guys.
Yeah. Let's go.
It's okay. We're only halfway through. So, the last trial episode, I showed something inexpensive and rare. Today, I'm going to show something that's a little bit of the opposite of that, just because to balance it out. As you all know, I'm a huge nerd for special editions and all kinds of exotic things like that. But I also like special editions that are kind of like forerunners to something like I may decide to do in a more production sense, and it sort of shows that they're testing things out. So, what we have here in this little box, which I'm going to open.
Ooh.
If you are familiar with the 28 Sumeron, that is a lens from the Leica Classic series where they reissue vintage lens designs and they basically redo them. In 2019, Leica did a very special iteration of the 28 Sumeron, which I am going to...
Oh, the gloves.
I got the gloves. Oh, we got the gloves, man. We're not messing around.
That is how you know it's special.
Okay, here we go.
When the gloves
The gloves are coming on. Okay. And it's tiny, so here we go. This, which I will show on the overhead. Here. Get it?
I love that plastic over
there. There we go. This is the 28 Sumeron f5.6 matte black. Now, the 28 Sumeron in its standard production form is silver chrome with a brass barrel. So what Leica did for this limited edition is they did a matte black paint with the, here we go, you can sort of see it, the red numbering around the edges. They only made 500 of these in 2019. And what I really find fascinating is the matte black over brass, or I should say the matte black paint in general, not over brass, the matte black paint is one of the rarest black finishes. We've all seen black paint, the black lacquer, the glossy black, the black chrome, but very rarely does Leica paint a matte finish. Most of the time, the matte finish is anodized, like black chrome, which we've seen on M6, M7, M8, M9, et cetera, et cetera. So the M11 and the new M6 are a matte black paint. Leica just calls it black. I know, very exciting. The 28 Sumeron in matte black came out long before those cameras did. So what it's basically doing is not only being a very unique and rare special edition, but also an example of Leica sort of testing out the idea of using a matte black paint on a lens, a special edition lens, before they started using it on their cameras. So ironically, even though the matte black finish on a lens is insanely rare, there's only 2 other matte black lenses I can think of. There's a 28 Summicron matte black and the 35 Summicron that came with the 246 Stealth Edition. That's it. So 3 lenses. It's the perfect match for one of the matte black bodies. So I'll put it on an M11 monochrome just to show you. Here we go. So here is an M11 monochrome. And I know it's blasphemy to mount the special lens, but I'm going to do it anyway, because I can.
The camera has gloves on too.
The camera. You can see it's a perfect match for the matte black finish. Jose will drop a link to this in the chat if you're interested in picking it up. Only 500 of these were made. Oh, that's so cool. I'm not going to say it's a very practical lens, meaning the Sumeron in general is kind of quirky, but if you look up images shot with this lens, they're actually pretty cool. This is obviously more leaning towards the collector side, but the reality is it's pretty small, so you could use this thing without dinging it up that much because it's such a low profile lens. I've seen the regular Sumerons get used pretty hard and still be in fantastic shape. So I think that this is a really cool and fun way to get something that's different, that matches the current camera, so it's not really like outlandish, and just a cool part of Leica's sort of special edition catalog. And this one, of course, full set, box and papers, et cetera, et cetera. Jack, why are you texting me? You can just order on our website. Jack is taking my phone here. He's clearly watching the show. Like, you know how to do it.
That is there was a question about the 50 Lux E43.
That was black chrome.
Black chrome.
That was black chrome over brass. So there was the 35 Summicron, 11689 black chrome, and the 50 Summilux, 11688. Those are black chrome over brass. They were not matte black paint. That's the big difference here, is that this is a painted lens, just like the glossy black paint, except it's a matte black. We saw that on the QP, the Stealth Edition, and the 28 Summicron, and that was it until Leica started using it in their M11, which is aluminum, keep in mind, but the M6 is probably the closest thing because that's also the new paint and that is a brass body. Anyway, super cool. I'm gonna gingerly place it back into its little, even the cap is cool. Matte black. Well, you can't see it because I have black gloves.
Yeah, it's no longer available. It's gone.
Did someone buy it?
Yes.
Oh, too slow.
In the chat. People are sad. All right.
I'm giving everyone a fair chance here. So you know what? You gotta
put a thumbprint on it
by the way.
You gotta have fast fingers, you know? Okay, let me put this away. And
Great.
David, what are we gonna talk about next, which you didn't talk about last
time? I don't know. What should we talk about?
Vegan hot dogs.
Amazing. No, first of all, I want to touch a little bit and get back to that question first, which is going to lead us into the camera discussion. So let's hear that question again about the SL lenses versus adapting M lenses on the SL, because I think that's a really fantastic point.
Yeah.
And it's something I've done personally. Josh obviously just talked about doing it as well. Mm-hmm. And I think that is a good place to start. Let's start there.
Okay. We're ready.
Awesome. So let's see. Okay. SL3 travel kit. Better to use SL primes or M lenses with adapter to keep things light. Any quality trade-offs with M glass on SL3? Or trade-offs at all, basically.
Sure. Well, let's start with the
What do you need?
the Summicron there.
The non-Apo?
Yeah, the non-Apo.
I got you.
All right. So, and I actually, maybe I should use that one. Actually, this one has a bracket on it.
Oh, there you go.
Let's do this.
I'll trade you. Got it.
Okay. So let's take that. Boo, 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 boo. Overhead view and activate
And
go.
There we go.
All right. Now this is, and we did show this last time. So this is, and actually this is now available as a kit where you save, depending if it's a 35 or a 50, I think $835-ish, I believe, which is pretty amazing. Because what does the lens retail for normally?
$2,400.
Tell you in a second.
Kojo will tell you. I don't know all the prices off the top of my head.
But it's a lot. Like that's a like 30%.
25.65.
25. So it's like 30% off the lens?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Okay. Math's hard. Let's go take pictures. All right. Actually, photography is math. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
no.
yeah. Okay.
All right. So it's super small and light, right? This is the smallest that you can get a native SL kit because the either the 35 or the 50 are very, very light in terms of weight. The SL3 body is smaller than the SL2 body was. It's lighter by a fair amount. I can't remember exactly. But this is not a bad kit. Now, how can you make this smaller? Well, that's pretty easy. You can use this, which is an M adapter. This here is an M adapter L. Earlier ones, like when they first made these back in 2013 now, it was called an M adapter T. It is identical performance. It is identical adapter, just different writing. Because at the time, there was no specific L mount. There was the original T701, and they had this adapter to be able to mount M lenses to that. That adapter was renamed L when the SL was launched. Okay, little history there. Mm-hmm. So a couple lenses that I really like. Now, we could have used that little Sumeron on here. That would have been amazing. But I'll give you a very, very specific use case. So if I'm going out and using the 24-70 is somewhere. Oh, here.
Right in front of you.
So let's say I go out and I am going to rock the 24-70 as my travel lens, or the new 28-70, either one. These are pretty small zooms, and it's very flexible because it gives you the range that you're going to be using for 70% of your pictures will fall between, say, 24 and 70 or 24 and 90. That's just how it generally works for travel photography. And this is pretty nice. But, okay, you're traveling to Europe, or you're going, you're shooting some landscape photos on the side, or you're going into, cathedrals like the can't remember, the Duomo in Florence or whatever. Okay, and you want to be able to shoot some wide architectural shots. 24, not that wide for that kind of stuff. So this lens is going to be killer for that, which is the wide angle Tri-Elmar. And you can see what it looks like here. So I've got 16, 18, 21. This is a little trivia. This is the only true zoom lens that was ever made for the M system, because you can actually use it between the detents. So if I put it here at around 19 millimeters, you can use this, and it is a 19 millimeter. If I put it here, it is a 17 millimeter. It does have the detent, so it does click into place, but if you're careful, you can kind of maneuver it where you want to be. And with live view, either on the back of the camera or through the viewfinder, you can compose just as you would on any other lens. And what I love about this lens is if I put it at 16 millimeter at f8, what's that?
No, I was like, I had like an itch in my beard. Chris thought I was like eating something. I'm like, no, I wish I could eat on the show. I'll have you know, we had our fantastic. We switched our traditional pre-show meal. Yeah, from our Mexican to our chicken fried rice. Well, not for you.
Yeah.
No, I'm just scratching my beard. I'm getting a little scruffy.
Wow.
So
all right. Back to this.
That's so funny.
Back to the regular. Okay.
Sorry, I love that.
Now I'm hungry.
Now you're hungry.
Again, I'm hungry too.
Well, that's the problem with the fried rice. You're full and then you're not.
I'm pretty full still. I know it's pretty good.
All right, go back to here. All right, so what we've got is, what's cool about this lens, at 16 millimeter, f8, I just shorthanded. I put it right at the 1 meter mark, right to the focus mark. And what that's going to do, if you follow over here, you can't actually see that because it's sort of black, gray numbers.
You got it.
Okay. Is less than 2 feet or about 0.55 meters all the way to infinity. And it's like a cheat code. Way past infinity, actually. Oh, yeah.
You doing
actually, yeah, I'm just looking at the numbers.
It has a lot of depth of field.
Yeah, it has a lot of depth of
is
field.
the point here.
But it's actually kind of nice. You just have that little mark of 1, and it kind of looks like a line, and you line it up here, and now it's just point and shoot. So you can go in there, and especially if you're in some locations, and you can see it's small, right? And I'll just tell you, so back up.
So sorry, hitting my phone.
Some places where you go, they're like no flash, no cameras, no tripods. I remember going to, I think it's Sacré-Cœur or something like that. There's the big cathedral at the top, all the way above Paris.
Sacré-Cœur?
Sacré-Cœur.
Wasn't it in the John Wick movie?
Is it?
Yeah, isn't it where he falls down the stairs a bunch of times?
Well, that didn't happen to me.
No,
That
okay.
didn't happen to me.
No,
I just went there.
You missed out.
Right. And there's big signs everywhere, like no cameras, no this. I took photos because you can.
Because you're a rebel.
Well, they really don't want flash photos, and they don't want people sticking cameras around. So the nice thing about this is you can be pretty discreet. It's pre-focused, so all you have to do is go in there, compose from the hip, and you can get some good shots, even in those kind of places. So the wide-angle trial-MAR, very, very useful, and it's an alternative to carrying this. Now let me put these side by side. There we go. So these are essentially the same thing. Ish. I'm going to say ish.
I'm
Okay.
fighting words.
Okay, this is a 16 to 35, which, by the way, is in my standard landscape kit. This is my lens. So 16 to 35, and this is a 16 to 21, essentially. But you can see it's just huge size difference. Yes, this lens can take 82 millimeter filters. Yes, it does actually go to 35 rather than just to 21. It's not a 16 to 21. It's a full zoom range lens.
It's also a faster aperture. It's weather sealed. It has autofocus, electronic aperture control. You can use the hyperfocal scale on top of the SL3. So there's a lot of things, and it's also a better lens optically.
Yes.
However,
However,
if size is an issue, or if you're just bringing an M and an SL with you and want to use the same lenses on both, which you didn't mention.
you can do that
Like,
too.
so you've got an M11 monochrome and an SL3.
Yep.
This setup is amazing for that because now it's just one lens for both as opposed to bringing two different lenses.
My point in all this,
Oh, you have a point?
I do,
Okay.
is let's say in an ultra minimalist situation, and you say, I shoot most everything at 35 and I'm going to do out and about travel photography, you can use the 35 non-apo Summicron right here on an SL3S, do great. But then carry something like a wide-angle trial-MAR to give you that extra flexibility for doing shots beyond 35 millimeter.
Yeah.
Or, in my case, let's say I just want to carry the one zoom lens, and I can throw this in a pocket, right? Or a big pocket, a coat pocket, or a small camera bag. And I can have a much smaller setup than if I was traveling with the full zoom in my backpack. And I think that's really where it's come into play. I've also personally, you know that I talk about this lens. Personally, I have adapted the 18 millimeter that I have here, M lens, to my SL in this exact scenario countless times. Last time I went to Japan, all I had was the SL3 and the 24 to 90. That was all I had native SL. And I also had an M11 kit, which I would go out and I'd pull the 18 millimeter because it was the only one that wasn't like duplicated with the systems. And I was able to shoot some landscape shots with the 18 in that rare circumstances that I needed it, which is great.
Yeah. I want to talk in terms of companions to a lens like that about, and I've mentioned this before, but I think the most underrated SL lenses by a huge margin, which are the non-apo SL. Oh, thank you. I want to hold the lens first. The non-apo SL3550 Summicron lenses. We have a whole show on these lenses, but they are barely heavier than M lenses, are faster focusing considerably than the apos, and actually have a rendering that's closer to an M lens than an SL apo. So this is kind of like using an autofocus M lens on an SL3. They're insanely inexpensive for what they are. We've even got, I think, some pre-owned ones right now, Jose, I think.
Correct.
Where you can see even more. If you have an SL kit, especially one with a couple of zooms, and you just want to have almost like a slightly larger Q setup, get a 35 or a 50 non-apo SL. They're so fast for autofocusing. So for street work, you put them in face detection, especially on the SL3S, the autofocus is insanely fast. But of course, still weather sealed, still Aquadura coating on the front, still fully electronic like all the other SL lenses, except you're getting much, much less weight, much faster autofocus, and a different look as well. A really, really nice look wide open. The last trip I took to the Nürburgring a couple years ago, I brought a 50 non-apo SL.
Yep.
And it's all that I had with me, and I was just doing car shots kind of around the periphery of the track, and I loved it. I was just wide open with my polarizer, and that was the first time I really put that lens into use. And I thought I was using like a 50 apo Summicron M because it looked M lens like, and I couldn't believe it. I had to like look at those images again and go like, this is pretty legit. So I like to champion them, not because they're the most expensive or the most exotic or the most whatever, because they're extremely good value for money. And you don't have to make any compromises like you do with M lenses in terms of like losing the autofocus and all that other stuff. And they're just really, really wieldable. We should do like 2 more questions and then we're going to get to bags. We're going to get to bags. I promise.
Let's do it.
11, we got 50 minutes left.
We're on target.
All right.
We're on target.
Is
there any other SL questions before we move on?
Yeah.
SL questions?
Yeah.
Or like good travel questions we can answer in the next couple of minutes.
Let me see.
Yeah, we got to clean up. We need room. So
Where's the back at?
don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, the other ones are about bags and how to carry them and the kit. And
Yeah, bags we're going to talk about in a second.
Yeah, we sure are.
do you recommend using the lens hoods on the Q2 and Q3 or just the UV filter?
That's a good question. I mean, they do 2 different things. There's a little bit of crossover. The lens hood will protect the sides of the lens from things coming at it, but it won't protect the front. So if you're at the beach and the sand's blowing right at your lens, it's pretty hard to scratch a modern lens. But to me, it's all about the environment you're going to find yourself in. If you're often in wet, sandy, gritty, dirty environments, even if you're not necessarily going to scratch the lens from being out and about, all it takes is like one wrong cleaning swipe to put a scratch on there. So a UV filter will protect it. If you're in a day-to-day environment, probably not. I mean, think about the last time you scratched the front of the lens. It's pretty rare. For peace of mind, it's nice. The hood is primarily going to help reduce flare, but it does give you some protection as well. This one is not scratched.
It is.
No, it's not. How did you scratch it?
Well, do you want to know how?
No.
With a lens cap.
What are you talking about?
No, for real. It was in my backpack. I can't even remember when. A couple of years ago now. And
It's heartbreaking.
so it's funny, if you have watched us, you may know that I don't use lens caps when I'm actually out shooting. I take all the lens caps off the lenses, and I usually leave them like in my hotel or something like that. They're not banging around. They're all in their own individual places in the bag. It's so that I'm not monkeying around with lens caps, and I can just change lenses very quickly as I need it. And I've never had a problem. Ironically, my 24-90, this is mine, I think, as evidenced by the road rash.
It's very, very, very disappointing.
So this one got a little scuffed on the front element because I had a lens cap on here. I do put the lens caps on when I'm traveling to someplace and coming back home from that place in my backpack. The lens cap popped off and it just ground in the lens.
Only you that would happen to.
Wasn't even from the wild. It was
unbelievable.
It was because of lens caps.
Okay, can we talk about bags now?
Yes.
We
Well,
really...
I thought you'd be excited about lens cap discussion.
No, not your version of that, which is how they destroyed your lens. That's a heartbreaking. I don't even want to hear that nonsense. All right. So, now, if I just let David run wild and talk about bags, we will be on the air until 2 in the morning.
Let's do it.
So let's not do that.
Go.
So I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'm going to take some time and talk about my stuff. So let me ask
Can we talk about straps first? Because it's a lot easier.
No, we're talking about bags. No, we're talking about bags because
right,
last time we said we were going to do it and we didn't.
All right.
So I'm not letting you get out of it this time.
Okay.
You fool.
Okay.
Okay. David,
Yes.
I would like you to pick a bag that you like and talk to us about why you like it and how you pack it.
Cool. What system?
You can decide.
Ooh. Okay.
So I'm giving him some boundaries here. One bag. He's going to start with one. Okay. And instead of getting all of his totally ruined bags, I think he did grab some new ones. So you're lucky
this is the new
because
one.
David's bags look like...
This is a new one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Worse than a 24-90.
Well, I will. Okay. This is actually mine. This is a new one.
Look at the color difference. Well, you can't. I don't
Well,
think
no,
it's out here.
you can't. These are not the same bag. I just want to point that out. These are similar bags.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Billingham Hadley Pro in small size, right? Can you see that? Okay. And this is a Billingham Hadley 2020.
It's making a mess. Here we go.
So why would I need almost the same bag?
Don't. You can answer your own question.
Cool. I love this. Okay.
Don't rope me into this.
All right. I do happen to love this color blue. I think it's really cool with the blue and the brown leather accents. Something nice about the Billingham bags. Great top handle, reinforced. Great to pick it up and carry it. Also, when we're traveling, it has a luggage trolley little strap in the back, which I'm a big fan of. It's got a very comfortable top strap, which I can show you. It is a little weird with the attachment system. Actually, Jose, can you get an overhead? I'm just going to show this. There we go. Oh, wow, that is really close.
Full frame.
Full frame. All right, so you think that it's these buckles. If you've never had a Billingham bag before, it is not these buckles. These are to adjust how tight the top is. So you actually pull up and down like that. And there's a little brass grommet. Okay, we open it up. And I do really like the strap, as I said. This one actually doesn't have the shoulder pad on it like mine does. And if you have an iPad, you can stick an iPad in the back here. The Billingham bags are pretty cool. They have removable inserts, which is also nice. You see that? And the bag itself is finished on the inside. So, the way I pack these bags.
First you struggle.
Gosh.
First you struggle.
Struggling real. Oh, yeah.
More fun in real life than it is on YouTube. I promise. I'm enjoying this quite a lot.
Well, and it's funny because this is a new bag, so all these are... Okay, I'm not going to be putting this together, but
you're killing me, bro.
I'm just going to show, in general, how I pack this. So, can we do an overhead? Is there enough light? I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so camera's going to go like this.
There you go.
I need one piece of Velcro. Wow, okay. And I'm not actually going to put it in for real because there. All right, perfect. So we've got that. And then one of my favorite accessories is, let's see, what lens is on here? It's a 50. So let's take the 21 and the 90. Okay, so I'm going to use this amazing accessory, which is out of focus. This amazing accessory, which is the back-to-back cap. Big fan.
There you go.
It's all right. I'm a pro. All right.
Professional what?
And professional what? So this is the back-to-back cap, and you can see it fits. I could actually fit a whole nother stack of lenses here. So this bag, even though it's pretty small and compact, I'm going to put that divider in. I could easily fit a whole 2 more lenses in here and the camera body very comfortably.
Yeah, if you pointed the camera the other way, you could fit.
And then the front gusseted pockets are big enough to accommodate chargers, or I have somewhere. Oh, you moved it.
Yeah, I had to clear out. You're just taking up the whole table now. So.
Yep. So power bank goes in the front, right? You can put the macro adapter in here, batteries. So the bag is really useful. I really wish our overheads were less zoomed in.
If only you prepared for this.
If only I prepared for this. All right. So, and here's a double battery. So all of this goes in nicely. And
can I just zoom that out a little bit, or let's scrub everything?
I will scrub everything. Okay. All right. So you can come back out. There we go. So I can fit in this bag. We got it. I can fit in this bag comfortably let's call it a 3, 4, 5 lens M kit with all the chargers and other things, which is fantastic. And what I like about this bag is that I specifically like to use this in an urban environment, and specifically if I'm dressed a little nicer, where I'm not just, walking around in shorts and a t-shirt. This is not my shorts and a t-shirt bag. It's like my dress camera bag. Josh is laughing, but also agreeing with me.
Yeah, I know, I get it. Yeah.
Right? So if I'm going to an event, or if I want to look dapper in Paris wearing my, my blazer, this is the bag I'm carrying because it kind of has a nice look to it. It goes with, brown dress shoes and whatever. I really like it. It does also come in just all black if you want that more discreet look. I happen to like this because it doesn't really look like a camera bag. And I will use the larger version, just fits more stuff, but it's a little bit bigger, and it gives me a little bit more extra room in there to put in other things like this, for instance.
The old orange blob.
The old orange blob.
I love that orange blob.
I'm not going to open this, but I'm just going to show it. This
is all cheese inside.
It's a giant ball of cheddar. No, this is a windbreaker / light rain jacket from Patagonia. I think it's called the Houdini 2 or something like that. It's like an ounce, and I often put it in a camera bag or attach it on the side, especially when you're going to some place that has like really variable weather, like Europe, where it could be sunny and then all of a sudden the temperature drops 20 degrees. This is a lifesaver. It doesn't take up a lot of space. It's not heavy. So I do usually travel with a little something. Because thing. And then sometimes you can handle me that too.
What am I handing you?
The tripod.
This?
Yep.
Okay.
This will also fit nicely in one of these bags. This is a tabletop tripod, and I will usually place this behind the padding. So either standing up, like so. So the camera's over here, and then I put this in its own little separate area, or lay it down, again, inside between the bag and the camera padding. It works a little better in my larger bag because it's more room, but this, I'm carrying it in the bag with me, and I always have a little tripod because you never know when that perfect sunset strikes and you've been out of your hotel all day and you haven't gone back yet, but you have that tabletop tripod that you can kind of get that epic sunset shot. So very handy. I would call this the Dapper Gentleman travel photography bag. How's that? Now it's your turn.
How can I possibly top the Dapper Gentleman photography bag? I don't know. Want to put those away?
Yeah.
Yeah. So David likes his billion bags. I am a huge fan of the Oberwerth bags. Oberwerth is a small camera bag company. They do a lot of other things as well. They're actually in Germany. We know the guys who run it. They're awesome. And I have 3 that I use, 2 that I use the most, and 1 that I use the most of those 2. And if you've run into me in the airport, which some people who are watching the show have over the years, you've seen me with this bag because I bring one bag with me everywhere. And my decision as to which bag has become my day or my travel camera sort of toss everything in bag is it fits my laptop, it fits my watch roll, and it fits a telephoto SL lens.
Wow.
The 3 most important things that I bring with me when I travel.
Those are very different size things.
The laptop, the watch roll. Well, the watch roll and the 7200 are almost the same size, actually. At that.
Wow.
Because I don't want to check those things.
Okay.
I don't want to put them in the overhead because I hate overhead bags. I know you love them.
I love them.
I want to just sit on my seat and put my bag under my seat and be done with it. So anyway, this bag is literally the biggest possible bag you can fit under the seat, having a little bit of room comfortably without being unwieldy. So this, it's not small.
That is not small.
Not small.
Wow.
This is my favorite bag on the planet. It is the Oberwerth Richard, I believe it's called. Jose, I think we have it on our website. This is the brown version, which I like. It looks like a sort of laptop business bag. It doesn't look like a camera bag. And the reason I like it so much...
You have all these lenses in front of you. There you go.
There we go. Now, that's a better view anyway, right?
Much better.
The reason I like it is because it's the perfect fit for the SL kit that I almost always bring, which is an SL body, a telephoto SL lens, and at least 1, if not 2 additional lenses, usually an M lens, another SL lens. It's tall enough for my watch roll as well, which of course is critical if you're a watch nerd like me.
Obviously.
But it's insanely versatile, and it slides. And I've traveled with this. I don't know how many countries? A lot.
It looks
not as many as you.
Looks pretty.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I just got a little. I just came back from a trip a few days ago, so it needs to be cleaned up a little bit. But it's so incredibly versatile. And I don't always walk around a city with it all the time. I'll usually bring a much smaller shoulder bag to actually walk around because I'm not carrying my laptop and my watch roll when I'm out and about. But for my travels, when I'm flying, taking a train, taking a bus, whatever, and I want to have my laptop, my watches, and my main camera kit right on my side, along with all my other travel goodies, this bag has proven indispensable. It's got the luggage thing on the back, so you can put it on your rolling suitcase, and it just swallows anything you can throw at it. Because obviously
it's massive.
It's pretty big.
But it also has a removable insert.
Yeah, the insert comes out.
Wow. I don't think the studio is big enough for this bag.
So the insert comes out, and just want to give people a sense of the size. Okay. I have a few different colored inserts in there.
It's rainbow. It's rainbow.
Well, I like to mix it up because it's easier to identify if it's dark. Like where I put the watches by the red one. So
by the way, it doesn't come with the red insert.
No, I bought that separately.
Bag,
and I store extra inserts at the bottom, which both serve as extra padding for the bottom of the bag, and also if I need to divide it up even further.
Throw it in there. Let's see it.
Let's see. Here you go. Hold on. Gotta move things around.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
It'll just swallow the SL without a problem.
Gulp.
Like that. And then
I can't.
And then it swallows. It swallows only this. It's like a magic. Yoink. I mean, there's room to spare. This will fit a 90-280, no problem.
Wow.
I'm not saying this is the most practical bag all the time, but for the traveling that I do, I can bring all my essentials with me. They go under the seat. I don't have to worry about checking it, throwing it in the overhead. It doesn't look like a big obnoxious camera bag, and this thing is insanely durable. I mean, I have been jamming this under airplane seats for years, all over the place, carrying it around, like just beating the heck out of it. And it's got a couple stains on it, but honestly, it's got, I don't know, you're not going to be able to show this on the close up, but it has like a couple of zipper pockets internally as well. So I'll keep things like spare memory cards. I have an AirTag in there. My business cards are in there. It's got, two big
gusseted pockets.
Two big front pockets as well. Super versatile.
Do they like? What will they eat?
Oh yeah,
lenses.
You could do that. I don't usually, but yeah, easily. But yeah, you can easily put lenses in there. So I got 2 zipper pockets inside. I have a zipper pocket on the back, and what I like about this zipper pocket is it's lined with like a nylon. So I put my lens cloths in there. I put my tickets in there. It doesn't get staticky. It doesn't get like fuzz on it. Nice. And so it's like a clean pocket almost. I don't put any like dirty stuff in there. And I'm telling you, like this bag has. And the most fun about carrying an overworth bag is when TSA wants to open it and they don't know how to do the
snap.
And I'm like, let me just get that for you.
So they have so the Billingham and Overworth have in common that they are
have a very bizarre,
non-intuitive.
So for me, my favorite. I'll take my insert back, and of course you can take the insert out and just use it as a big honking bag. But despite the fact I'm in the dark now, sorry. Despite the fact that this is quite on the large side. From a versatility standpoint for my travels, it has proven indispensable. And again, I'm not carrying around that much stuff at my destination most of the time, sometimes, but it serves as a fantastic sort of vessel to bring those critical things that
it is a large vessel.
Yes.
Now, along the same lines.
Yes.
So I think you should show a smaller bag, and I'm showing a bigger bag.
Well, it's your turn now. So,
it's my bag.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'm going to show a little bit bigger shoulder bag still.
Yeah, and then I'm going to show the smaller bag that I use to companion with my big bag.
So this one, just fair warning, my wife hates this. Kirsten, also no love.
This one.
Listen, I don't care.
I know you don't care.
I don't care.
This
is my hot take, okay?
Okay, go for it.
So the people who have, if the other one was the swanky stylistic one, the dress one, this is the tool bag, right? This is the just go out and get it done, doesn't matter. It doesn't look like a lot, but it is awesome. This is the Think Tank Retrospective 7 2.0. Actually, just outside that door, I have the Think Tank Retrospective 7. Well, they didn't call it a 1.0 because it was the OG. There's some nice improvements from the first generation and second generation. I still use both bags. I also have this in the Retrospective 5 size, and I also have it in the 10. So it comes in a few different sizes. I find the 7 to be the most universally adaptable bag. And generally, if you've seen where I do camera testing, let's say I go to New York and I do, M11 camera test, or I'm shooting, in Germany with an SL or whatever that is. And it's not a landscape trip, right? This is a walk around, just general, like heavy photography trip where I need to carry a lot of stuff and I don't care what I look like. This is what I'm taking. It is amazingly versatile. It has this incredible memory foam padded strap that has that's breathable with non-skid little things there. This is super, super comfortable. I usually wear this either on one shoulder or crossbody. It does have a top handle. It does have it does have a luggage trolley, as you can see here. It also, kind of like Josh's thing, it has a great big back pocket that I use for documents. So I put a lot of papers back here. Interestingly, like when I'm out shooting and doing like just in my zone camera testing, I often will meet people and they give little handouts of cards or stickers or whatever, and there might even be, no, there's not. But I'll often just throw something in here and it kind of keeps it nicely preserved. So if I go see a show, I can put a playbill in here, whatever. This is my just throw stuff in the pocket. On the inside of the bag, it is Velcro. But what's really cool about this is you can use the Velcro silencers.
They're up here.
They're right here. So this is, I'm going to show this here. Okay. So Jose, show the bag real quick. The top view.
There you go.
Yeah, show the top view. So on this edge of the bag, on the other side, you'll notice that it's full Velcro. And this is one of the improvements they've made in the 2.0 bag, which is tucked in this little pocket is a silencer. If you put the flap over completely, you have now, I mean, it's pretty clever, right? It covers the Velcro on this side completely. So now the bag is silent when you're opening and closing it, which I have used when you're in a venue that is, a quiet performance or something like that, where you need to be discreet and still want to change lenses. For instance, we went and shot sumo wrestlers in Japan, and we had to be like quiet as mice. We couldn't make any sound whatsoever. Usually, though, I'll adapt it and I'll just put it this way, so there's a little bit of Velcro showing, so it has a little bit of stick, but it's quiet still. If you use the full Velcro, then everybody can tell you're opening and closing the bag. But I love that you can just stow these away, which is really neat. Another improvement they made is this part also Velcros, and they have a separate. Wow, I think maybe you just get the front view of that.
Yeah,
what's neat is you can, for security, the first generation bag just had the flap closure. This one, when you're out and about, you can do a zip closure for the main camera compartment, and then when you want to go quickly, you can just fold it up out of the way, and it Velcros to the top lid.
Clever.
Just a lot of cool stuff. I have my like OG M strap in here.
Those are rare. Okay,
those are right, and huge pocket.
Take that.
Nope, that's mine.
Nope, I'm taking it.
So this one, like Josh is saying, can kind of swallow anything. I have used this for M, where I'll just put more dividers in, but you can also easily carry an SL body, SL lenses, and I mean, this is one of the best things about the pocket, which it's funny that I say it, but I do actually use this all the time when I'm out shooting. I actually do love that I can put 1 or 2 bottles of water in the front pocket, which is fantastic because I am out and about.
That is a well-packed bag.
This bag, and I love how soft and pliable it is. So it also conforms to your side when you're carrying it, and you can kind of scrunch it with your arm. Say if you're on the subway and you want to just keep it tight to your body. So this to me is my go everywhere, do everything shoulder bag, because I've rocked SL kits, Q kits, M kits, M and Q kits. And again, here's my little tripod, and this thing just swallows it up right in the pocket, no problem. So this is, I don't know. This is probably my most used bag of everything that I use. But it doesn't go really well with a blazer or a suit, so I got to go to my dress bag, which is why I like the Billingham. So this kind of gives you a little bit of insight into that. It's also remarkably light when it's emptied. This canvas is great, and these bags have been all over the world as well, and they're very very rugged and resilient. So nice. Now it's your turn.
It's my turn, and then we'll talk about some other stuff. We gotta make sure we get to some questions. Okay, so. Obviously, I have my ginormous Oberwerth bag that I use for transport. So what do I do when I need something smaller for like my outings? But that's also suitable for the SL kit that I almost always have. Well, I use my second favoriteest Oberwerth bag, which is also the one that I helped design, which is this one. This is called the VisaFlex bag. And the reason it's called that is because it is originally designed to accommodate an M11 body or an M body with a VisaFlex attached. Because one of the problems that I was having with a lot of these M-centric bags is they were too thin. So every time I had to put the M body away, I'd have to take the VisaFlex off, which I use a lot, especially with vintage glass. So I worked with Oberwerth to design a bag that was a little bit deeper this direction, perfectly deep enough, and with the right combination of dividers to accommodate an M body with a VisaFlex attached. But as a consequence of that added depth, this actually became an incredible bag for the SL system, for a small SL kit. So what I mean is, I'll show you.
This one actually will fit on camera.
Yes.
The other ones do not.
Let me get the dividers out of here. Stand by, please. Yeah, here we go. Okay, let's see. Will this fit on camera? Yeah. Here we go. Give me, so here's an SL3 with a bracket and a 1635 on it. It fits.
Wow.
So this, obviously, this takes up the whole bag, but what I usually do is I have this as a working bag. So my whole kit that I may bring with me probably is not going to fit in here. It's just going to be my spare. So whatever I'm not using will fit in the bag, and then whatever's around my neck stays there until I'm done photographing. But you could very easily fit an SL with another lens in here because get one of these dividers, like so.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah. Okay, put a badge up. There we go. Okay. So this will fit, I mean.
Nice. That is shocking, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's like a magic trick.
And it closes. It closes just fine.
That is a magic trick.
For a bag originally designed with the M system in mind, and this is really fantastic for that as well, it's just the perfect size to carry a small SL kit. You're not fitting a 9280 in here. Okay, you're not fitting.
No.
You know,
Yeah.
if you put
But the 28 to 70 would be great in there.
you know, here's an SL with a 35. Can we get the overhead again? A 35 non-Apple SL. That
wow.
obviously fits in there
That fits
perfectly.
great.
And then I could fit, you know, let's say a couple of M
Or here,
lenses in there.
Or this 14 to 24.
I could fit a 14 and 24 in there. Let's see. And there's room to spare for a charger, like a dual charger.
Oh, wow.
Let's say
With a divider.
Put a divider in there. So
Amazing.
this is one of the most underappreciated and overly flexible bags Oberworth makes, just because of that added depth. It also has. I'll show you while we've got the overhead.
You want to put an M?
Yeah, I will do that in a second. It has some nice pockets in here. It has obviously a nice big pocket here, and of course my requirement, which is a zipper pocket, which is nylon line. You can see my little air tag in there on the back, and then of course little side pockets, which I'll use for like business cards and stuff. But the real party piece of this bag is, do we have a Visa flags? Yes. Is that it comes with, so you can see it comes with these little, these little block dividers, which are designed to hold up the VisaFlex. So if I
forward a little bit.
here we go. So you can see the VisaFlex rests perfectly on there.
Okay, that's neat.
And then I put this divider here, like that.
Wow.
So I don't have to.
It's like a little bed.
It's like a little pillow. It's so cute. I don't have to completely disassemble the camera setup. I mean, this will also work with the hand grip attaching, so there's just enough room here. And I did a rushed job of putting this in. Obviously, with some care, you can make this fit really well. But if you're using the VisaFlex a lot, you don't have to break down the setup. You just put the little pillows in there, which it comes with.
And how does it work with other M
And
lenses?
then you can go here. And
you could fit. Wow. You could. This also could hold 5
Yeah, I didn't
lenses.
bring the right combination of dividers with me, but I think technically we can kind of go something like this. Yeah. There we go. And then, no, wait, I'm doing this wrong. Like put some stuff here, and I can get another divider here. I mean, you could go pretty crazy. I've put 5 or 6 M lenses in one bag. There.
Nice.
And you can get another divider here. It's extremely versatile. So you can very densely pack it if you want,
Wow.
or you can have a minimal kit. And what I usually do is I put a lot of my extra stuff in this bag, and I just put it in my suitcase. So I'll put, I don't know, belts in here or chargers or whatever. And it lives in my suitcase, or I'll just fold it. I'll just flatten it up because it doesn't have a lot of structure. So you can, because there's no insert. So I'll just flatten it out. And then when I get to my destination, I unpack my big giant Oberworth bag. I take the camera stuff out of it, and I use this bag to work out of.
Nice.
Insanely versatile. My most used like daily Oberworth bag, aside from the one that I fly with. So
That's pretty nice.
really, really, really cool. Great for SL, great for M, great for Q. I mean, I'll just
Wow.
right before we go, I'll throw a Q in there.
Up there.
Here, you can obviously see I can fit
Easily.
a Q. I can fit 2 Qs. If you have a Q3 and a Q243, for example,
Perfect, yeah.
perfect for that. So anyway, I'm going to show that.
Nice.
Okay. So just a really nice, really versatile bag. Okay, enough bag talk for a bit. We should take some questions. And then we're going to talk about straps.
Sure.
If we just talk about bags, we can do that for the next 4 hours. so.
We also have the little cases too that we should talk about.
Well, let's take a few questions, then we'll do cases. Let's take like 3 questions, and then we'll do some cases.
One question, Josh.
2.5 questions.
Will that VisaFlex bag fit an SL and a 24 to 90?
Yeah, I mean that'll take
Only.
pretty much the whole bag, but it will fit. I would say I probably wouldn't use it for that setup because I would probably have another lens with me. But yeah, it would fit.
It's a segue to talking about something else.
Which is what?
So
I'm like,
no, a hybrid approach. So
Yeah.
like Josh is saying, if you're going out working, so you don't have to have everything in the bag once you're where you are.
Right.
When you're actually photographing, you know, one of the benefits of having a rugged, durable, weather-resistant camera like the SL is very often I'm just carrying the SL with the 24 to 90 on my person. If you want to carry another lens like the 16-35, the 14 to 24, you could use that bag to hold the other lens so that if you need to, like a lens bag where you could switch it out, and you say, okay, well, great, but how do I actually get to where I'm going with the things that won't fit together in the bag? Which is why you could use
This bag of tricks over there.
something
Hey.
like these, which
Oh, there we go.
we absolutely love. These are mine. I actually use these, and I use them for this express purpose because I have a little rollerboard that has my laptop in it. I don't like to put my laptop in the camera bag because I just don't, and it's a 16-inch monster, so it doesn't fit. But I have a little underseat roller that I put my laptop in and like a jacket and whatever. Snacks. Snacks are very important. So often I'll have some extra space in there and I'll use one of these. So if I'm bringing along an extra
You
cube.
show this on the overhead so they can really see the size.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think that's
Right. Now this is small and it collapses. It is padded and it's kind of a cool, like, I don't know, neat little nylon material. But you can take a cue and just do this, which you can see it fits absolutely perfectly for the cue. And then this goes in my roller bag with my computer. And that's it. And it's like carrying, an extra charger or something. That way I have the extra camera without fully overloading my camera bag. And you could use the same thing. Let's say I wanted to carry that extra lens with me. Believe it or not, you can carry a lens in there, which is awesome. So this is an Artisan and Artist. I forget the model. Is it 72 or something?
ACAM.
We can look it up.
Hold on.
The Jose will find. I think it's
it's in
ACAM
the-
65. Maybe?
Yeah, and it comes in this. Yeah, so it comes in this sort of triangular zip fashion, which is great. I mean, again, like I can put an M body with a lens, boom, and it just like eats it up, which I love. Look at that, amazing. So it fits perfectly for M, for SL lenses, for Qs, and then if you want something a little more structured that doesn't collapse as much, it comes in this square size, and it has a cool little thing for extra batteries up in this mesh pocket. And that way you would just do this, or often you could also put it this way as well. Not as well. Not with a Q. So
Maybe without the hood on there.
yeah, not with the
If you're
hood.
going hoodless.
But yeah, but an M
The
body.
first one is the 64D.
ACAM 64D.
Yeah,
The
the
first one,
first-
ACAM
the first
60.
one
You
out.
can drop a link to it. In the
yeah,
chat.
and then this is the with an M body in
60
there.
something D. I don't
And
know.
in fact, this one usually I don't because it's mine. I lost it, but it actually comes with a center divider. So this one is actually designed to carry 2 M bodies with no lenses on it. That's this one.
Yeah, it's
Which-
a really, really nice size. But it's obviously, as David's showing, is extremely versatile.
Yeah, and they weigh nothing. It's like literally carrying air. So these are so cool. They also make this style. I think these nylon ones are cool, but if you want something even more collapsible, this is also an Artisan and Artist. It has let's do an overhead here. So it's kind of a softer canvas material.
And they make this in leather as well.
Yeah, and it has a little loop here. You undo this, and it's sort of like a little.
It's like a mix between a
it's like a lunch
pouch
bag.
and a wrap.
Yeah, right. And then if you take your camera or whatever you're putting in here, and then you just kind of cinch it down to whatever size you're looking to do, and that's it. And then this you just throw in your bag, your carry-on.
Maybe not throw.
Well, don't throw it.
Gingerly
Placed. Then also, if you're carrying an extra lens, you can use something like this, which is cool.
Like the 414, I think.
Yeah, this is a little neoprene M lens pouch, again by Artisan, and this is great. You just can pop a lens in here, and you're done.
Look
right.
at that. So cute.
So this is really great protection for carrying things that don't fit in other things. The other use case for these, just to give you a little other idea, let's say and I hate this, and we talked about it in our last episode, which is sometimes there's a trip that's not a photography trip that you're taking camera gear on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's say that I am doing a serious hike, and I have not a camera bag. I have a serious hiking backpack with a full suspension system and the hydration and all that. Like there is backpacks that are meant for hiking that are very lightweight and very comfortable, and they carry a lot of water. But where do you put a camera in that? And the reality is what you would want is something like this or like that, where you can take your camera. Let's say, I think a Q is a fantastic camera for doing a hike or something like that. You would put the Q into that bag, in your other bag. It's going to keep it protected from all your, camping materials or whatever. And it'll be there when you need it. So these are fantastic. These are called like small cases and inserts.
And they can be notoriously hard to get sometimes, so I apologize in advance.
They can be. But these small cases
Yeah, you can put those away.
can be so flexible in terms of really accommodating different packing scenarios. meaning that you can carry a slightly smaller camera bag to where you're going because you can use other bags to carry the things without bringing Josh's black hole of a bag.
I love that bag. Okay, we should take a few questions since we keep saying we're going to do it. So Jose, please.
But we had to talk about bags, so we did.
We did.
That was good, right?
You did so good. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Questions, go.
For travel, my concern is handing my gear to strangers to have family photos taken. Would you trust them that they wouldn't run away with them? What if they don't know how to manual focus?
Well, I wouldn't hand an M camera to a stranger because they're not going to know how to use it anyway. That's what the Q is for. I've talked about this before, but if I'm doing a trip like that, I'll have a handoff user profile where if I just, on the Q or the Q3 or the Q343 or whatever, where before I hand the camera to someone, I just put that user profile on and it puts it on like full auto, face detection, like 3 frames per second so they can't mess up. And then they just say, here you go. But of course, yes, if you hand your camera to a stranger, there is a chance that they will run away with it. I would love to know that's ever actually happened to anybody in the chat.
I am really tempted to quote Monty Python right now.
Do not.
But I won't.
Do not. Please do not. Anyway, so that's my thoughts on that. Next question.
Okay. I have a Q3 and an SL2S with, let's say, the 24-70. What's a good bag to carry those two when I travel?
I mean, that depends on what else you want to put in it. If you just want to carry those two things, almost any bag will work that has the depth for the SL. The VisiFlex bag that I showed you would definitely work for that. Probably maybe a little tight. It wouldn't let you put anything else in there. The Billingham bag that David showed.
Perfect fit, yeah.
Yeah, it's carrying two cameras that are that size because it really, the overall volume of a Q3, an M11, an SL, even an SL3 with a smaller lens is not that much different.
No.
So if you're just going to carry one of each with like one lens, almost any bag is going to work. Where it gets tricky is if you want to have 4 or 5 lenses or a very odd shaped lens like the 7200, or if you're trying to have the ultimate minimal setup in the smallest bag possible. But two bodies like that, you have pretty much pick of the litter for what bag you want to use.
Yeah.
David, do you ever use any type of backpack?
Funny you should say.
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Okay, so we're going till midnight now.
Okay.
Ah, boy.
Funny you should ask.
Oh my gosh. Man. Why are you enabling?
The answer is yes. I like this. This is like, hey Josh, how you doing? No, I gotta go on this side. These are the backpacks I use. Actually, this is the small one. This is the smallest that I will use.
Give me a hard time on my Oberth bag.
All right. Okay, this is a 26 liter Mindshift back. It's a backlight 26.
Careful, dude.
Oh,
what are you doing?
It is a back. I can't see anything. Yes. There's things in here. Okay. Sorry. Okay. This is a back loading. That's why they call it a backlight. And it is
a force of nature when you give him a bag.
It is voluminous. Can you hand me the 7200?
No, I'm not handing you anything expensive.
I can't see.
No, this is...
Anyway, it fit, as you can see, this fits. Oh, I would put it on the side.
Perfect fit.
Oh my gosh, everything is backwards in the camera. Yeah, so it's perfect fit. The SL just goes up here. You can see cut out for the camera and a 24-90. Usually I would put, on this side, that's a lens cleaner. I would put a telephoto here, and then I could put other SL lenses. So this will basically hold everything. It's got memory foam padding here with a lot of lumbar support. It's got a little bit of suspension so your back can breathe. The backpack straps are also ventilated memory foam, which I love. And something about this bag, it also has a huge front pocket.
Careful.
Sorry.
Okay.
I know. It has a huge front pocket, large side pockets that can accommodate bottles. Tripods can go in here as well. Fantastic bag. I will travel with this one, but I mainly use the 36 liter version of this, which is bigger. It's how I brought all this stuff here to the studio. So I do have this 26 and I have the 36. They're both in this lovely green color, which makes me stand out in my red jacket and green thing. So, and also very, very thick waist belt, which, a lot of kind of more fashion, because this is not the prettiest bag in the world, but more fashion conscious photo backpacks don't have really good hip belts, and this is where all the weight is going. So This is built like a hiking backpack, but for cameras, and it is very light, backlight. So this is my preferred backpack, either in 26 or in 36 liter.
Good job, David. You only broke like 4 things. You're fine.
Is everything okay?
No, nothing's that
Why is it so far away from me now?
All right, let me ask one question, and I think we also had another.
We're gonna have to do a part 3.
No,
right?
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no.
That's just,
Oh my gosh, you're killing me.
it's gonna be autumn travel by the time we're actually done with this series.
That bag reminded me that workshops.
Yeah.
You have to mention.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What about
ta-
workshops?
Let's talk about that for a second.
Do we do workshops?
Yeah.
Here we go. So before we go to that, yes, we do workshops. If you want to see me destroy things in person, and you want to learn all this stuff, and again, we said the best way to improve is to practice and to get out there and use stuff. So that's why we do our photo workshop program, which I am a part of, as well as Colin and Peter and Kirsten usually. She will be back. So we have a couple things going to the screen. So this is the workshop I will be going to the Faroe Islands in a few days. Our Colorado trip is sold out, which is September to October. But if you're interested in getting on a wait list, there's always an opportunity to do that. We have 2 spots left to the Scotland, which is the Outer Hebrides and the Highlands. I will be leading that workshop, so love to have you join me on that. And then we have 1 spot left for Japan, which Colin and I will be co-leading, and that is in mid-November, and that is going to be amazing. And everything else is sold out except for our printing workshop, which I think is that in Ireland?
No, it's New Orleans.
Oh yeah, in New Orleans, sorry. Yeah, so we also have a fine art printing workshop available in New Orleans, a couple spots left for that in December. But the big ones are, if you really want to go Scotland or Japan, they are still available, but are filling up quickly.
There we go.
So that is that.
Okay, I think obviously there's still a ton of stuff we didn't talk about.
And you should mention this, Josh.
What? Oh, right. So if you're thinking about going in a workshop and you've got a bunch of unused Leica gear sitting around, you're like, well, I don't want any other gear right now. What can I do with it? We are offering a 10% bonus if you trade in Leica gear towards a workshop, which is something new. So instead of trading your Leica gear towards other gear, you can trade in your gear with Leica Store Miami towards the cost of one of our workshops, and you get 90% of fair market value for those trades as opposed to the standard 80%. So if you're interested in doing that, you can fill out our trading form on our website and just mention the workshop promo. And then when I quote you the trading values, you'll get an extra 10%. So if you're on the fence about a workshop, if you've got a couple of cameras or lenses lying around that you're just like collecting dust, put 2 together and take advantage of the promotion, which is until the end of August. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. Obviously, we have a million things we didn't talk about, but I think we need to answer questions for the next few minutes, and then we will call it a night. And then we will do a whole episode on...
Don't say we're going to do a whole
We'll call it the things we forgot, and we'll just do all the things we forgot. Because we could never get through anything when David is here absolutely wrecking everything on the table.
A wrecking ball of emotion.
We're not doing straps.
Hold on.
We're not doing straps.
Before we take questions, I want you to show a strap, and I'll show a strap.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'm timing you. I don't have my chronograph
So
on.
pick one.
I'm picking the strap that I brought.
Oh, what about one of these?
I thought I had to pick. You're not picking for me.
You can pick 2.
Oh my gosh.
One of each.
Just pick one.
Here, this.
See what I got to do with?
I think we'll do a strap episode.
You have to wait till after the show to drink whiskey next time.
I want to show this one. We each get 2. Okay. So I'll show, which is basically the same thing. Okay, you go ahead.
Okay. If we're talking about straps, one of my favorites, and this is actually mine, is the silk neck straps from Artisan and Artist. They make a few different styles. I like them because they're super pliable, super soft. They aren't leather, so they're just better if you're sweaty like I am all the time. And they look different. They look classy. Here we can do a close-up. This is the blue one. I forget the model, Jose. Is this an ACAM 312?
Let me check.
Yeah. But it's your standard, non-adjustable with key rings, but it's just this beautiful, like hand-woven Japanese silk that's super soft.
306.
What?
306.
306. Okay. ACAM 306. So yeah, Artisan Artist silk neck strap. They make a couple different colors, a couple different lengths. They have like ones that are flatter, ones that are totally flat. I have like 4 or 5 of them in my sort of strap collection, my personal strap collection. And they're also really good if you want to be a little bit dressier. I wear a lot of blue, so this strap goes really well with the various blues that I wear. So yeah, shout out to Artisan and Artists for making my favorite silk straps. David, you want to show a strap that you like?
Yeah. But these are kind of the same.
Okay.
So you might have noticed what I have here on my SL3. Maybe. There we go. All right. Well, a couple things on here. One is this is an L bracket from Match Technical. They do make one for the SL3, which is fantastic. It's got a little adjustable doohickey here. You could take the battery out, no problem. Yeah, and it's really lightweight, aluminum, nice. Okay, but you will also notice what I have hanging on the sides. These are, if you know, you know, right? These are Peak Design anchors, and I use two different straps for the most part, which is this is the Peak Design leash, which I love. I actually have this in 3 colors, or 4 colors. It comes in sage, the midnight blue. I also have ash gray and black because you never know. These are my favorite straps to use on the Q cameras, and I do also use them on M cameras. It can actually use them on the SL. The strap and the clips are strong enough. I know Colin actually really likes using this. He highlighted in his video that he did. But usually for SL, I'm using this, which is the Peak Design Slide Light. I love this material. It's this just really soft and pliable and super durable. This has been in all sorts of weather and mud and rain, and it looks brand new, which is insane. Nice little non-skid stuff here. And the trick of both of these is that you just flip this up, and they are quick adjustable in terms of length. So you can lengthen it and click it back into place. So you can go from crossbody to over the shoulder like that. These are my absolute favorite straps for the SL, and like I said, especially for the Q as well. So these are my go-tos, and it's all Peak Design stuff.
Okay.
I kept it short.
Can we answer some questions now?
Yes.
And then we're gonna have to go.
Sure.
Go. What do you got?
And okay. Q3 waterproofing. Going to Iceland on a 5-day hike. Any suggestions that I should bring before going to protect the camera from rain and wet conditions?
No,
I mean, you don't need it. It's weather sealed. It's not waterproof.
No, but I've been to Iceland all the times. I could take up residency there. No, you're fine. Getting rained on from the top, especially, is no problem whatsoever. What I would advise, and this is more of kind of a landscape tip, is you have a lens cloth there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and the Q is actually better than some of the other cameras because the lens shade is pretty substantial. You don't get a lot of water droplets, but water droplets are the silent killer for photos when you're in weather. Not the water on the camera, but those little droplets on the lens. You don't see it in the preview, and you will kick yourself when you're looking at them at night. When you're downloading them, you're like, oh no, with big water spots. Terrible. So you always want to carry a clean lens cloth. These are the ones I use. It's the Leica Optic Toques. They're great. But the problem with this microfiber material, very soft, works great for cleaning lenses. As soon as this gets soaked through, it's useless. I mean, like, absolutely useless. All it does is just smear water around. It makes it way worse. It's awful. So the secret here is a very low-tech one. What we always recommend is making sure that you carry enough of these. So on a landscape trip or a hiking trip, say to Iceland, where you could be encountering rain or waterfalls, mist, anything like that, I would carry 3 clean ones of these extra. I carry it in my waterproof jacket in the pocket right here on my chest. And I put them in a Ziploc bag and just fold it over so it's small, slide it in there, because having clean lens cloths is the difference between being able to take pictures and having to call it a day. And it just comes down to having a dry lens cloth that's out of the rain. So you need one that's easily accessible in a pocket that you can quickly clean between shots, and then having the dry reserve. Once that's all wet, just like throw it somewhere and dry it out later, but just don't even try to use it because it won't work.
Okay.
That's a good, like, rain anywhere tip.
1 or 2 more questions, and then we're already over our time. So, what What do we got?
Let's see. I answered a couple of questions in the chat, just asking about
Okay, no,
straps
that's fine.
and
You don't
stuff.
have to
But
ask him again.
yeah, they're asking about MLMP Safari straps.
Yeah, so no, you answered that well.
Okay.
No, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. Somebody agreed on the artist straps that are very nice. They want another show us your gear episode.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's on the list. That's those episodes are an insane amount of work. So
I
eventually,
like lose my voice for 2 days after those things.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have a lot of ideas for like more complex episodes coming up. I just need to find the time to do it. And of course, we're getting into the busy time of year, so TBD.
Yeah. Let's see. I think we covered.
All right. Yeah, well, it's after 9. So
Did we actually do it?
Yeah, we did 2 hours.
Did we really do it?
Yeah.
Well, when are we back? We don't actually know when we're back, do we? Or no, it's sometime in September. Let's see. I'm gonna check our.
While you're doing that, and I have to pack up, I'm going to show one other small
Okay.
case that we
Okay.
both actually brought to the studio.
Okay.
Which is
I'm checking your
Peak
thing.
Design Tech Pouch. You have one in beige or
No,
white?
I have the blue one, of
The
course.
blue. Oh, blue.
Everything I have is blue. This is mine. This is like my It's literally it's all my. I took this out of my
This is mine too.
suitcase and I brought it in.
Yeah. So I travel with this in my suitcase. So a lot of the things I may not need cables and whatever with me or chargers. So I might put them in my check bag. But the Tech Pouch is fantastic. It's like a little organizer inside. It has all sorts of little pockets and dividers when you open it up. And
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is the most useful little
there you go.
thing on the planet. It's got you have the here we go. The divider. It's got a little
Yep.
zipper pouch in here. It's got a zipper pouch back here.
You want it in front of you?
It's got no, that's all right.
Because you're leaning over at it.
I can show you mine.
Here, there you
no,
go.
it's okay. Well, anyway, no, that was yeah. No, here. Also, our next show, Saturday, September 20th.
They can see your phone.
Oh, that's our calendar. That's fine. That's our work calendar. You can see it's right there on the 20th. There's our teams. We got Adam, Brandon, and Rice in the store, and then David, Jose, and Josh. There's no secrets there.
What's in yours? What's in your Tech Pouch?
This is a bunch of random stuff. I have my little travel blower. I have my Nano.
Yeah, gotta have that.
I have a 4-port Anchor.
Power thing.
The reason I like this is because it takes the figure 8 cord that all the Leica chargers take.
Oh,
So I
wow.
have a European cord and
Okay.
a US. I have my US cord in here somewhere. I have my MagSafe battery. This is the most important thing that I have, which is like a little portable sticky roller for my for my students. And I don't want to get stuff on there. And then I have a bunch of cables.
It really is. I mean, the amount of stuff this stores neatly and
yeah, there's like a little zipper pouch there,
So
and then
great.
there's another like inserts here, and then there's
It's great.
it's the best. It's the best. I travel with this thing everywhere, just like David does. We obviously each own these ourselves. So yes, okay, we do have to sign off. But Saturday,
Version 2, right, of Tech Pouch?
yes, version 2. Yes, Saturday the 20th is our next show.
Saturday 20th of what month?
September. So you're gonna have to go 6 weeks without it, bro.
September.
We don't have another August show. You're in like 27 countries in the next couple of weeks.
Wow. Wait.
Yep.
Okay, and then I leave on the 21st. So, okay, that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
was our August episode, so yeah.
That's why we did the 20th.
This
I
is
guess.
this is
Wow.
our August episode.
Yeah, so just apologies. The fall for us is insanely hectic and busy, and every one of us is going in different directions. Jose was in New York, like hours ago? Yesterday?
Back last night, yeah.
Last night, yeah. Jose was in New York until last night. Josh was I think you were in Seattle or West Coast.
I've been everywhere.
We've all just been, and I'm leaving for Europe for 3 weeks in a few days. So we're all kind of going in different directions.
But here's the
and
thing.
We're trying to get,
If you like us, you don't need to wait for us to go on YouTube to interact with us.
really?
Yes, what's crazy is if you just go to Like a Star Miami, Jose is there, I'm there, Adam is there, Brandon is there, sometimes Risa is there. So just remember, you don't have to wait until we do a show to interact with us, ask us questions, and support us. You can email us, you can come into the store, you can place your order with likestarmiami.com. Like that's
us a
how
call.
we keep the lights on. So just remember, don't be sad. It's going to be 6 weeks. Just use that time to, buy your next lens at Like a Star Miami. I'm just saying. Just put it out there. Here we are working on a Monday night, doing our thing. So
Yeah.
I got to drive back to Coral Gables after this.
Yeah, you do. And work tomorrow. We all have
And
to
then
work.
work
We all have to work
We all
tomorrow.
have to work tomorrow. That's all right, though.
It's nice to have a Sunday after the show to
I know, and I get to sleep in, but no, I got to answer all the emails.
Nah.
That's all right.
Well,
It could be worse.
We love it. We love it.
we
do.
love it.
Yeah.
And thanks for everyone who tuned in on a odd time and odd day.
Yeah.
But you can see we're really trying to squeeze this in to bring you the quality content that you so richly deserve.
That's right.
We are here for you. So big thanks to everyone out there on the old internet watching us, wherever you get your YouTube or listening to us on a podcast. That's fine too. Someone was actually just in the store and said they listen to us when they go running every night.
There you go.
And it's like, hey, he's like, oh, it's motivating.
I would
like,
run into a lake if I was
Yeah.
like, it's like, nope. Okay.
but hey, listen, however you want to consume it, it's great.
That's all right. We're fine with that.
Yeah, you can also go to red.forum.com for latest Leica news, reviews, tech articles, firmware update things, all things Leica. That is a website. That is also the name of the YouTube channel, but also a website. And of course, if you want to support us, the best way to do that, 2 ways. Subscribe to the channel, give us a little thumbs up, and also support us financially by shopping at LeicaStoreMiami.com because, yeah, these lights aren't free.
That's right.
It takes a lot of Leicas to
The
power
electric
these
bill
lights.
is crazy. Yeah, I know.
And that fried rice is not going to pay for
Our
itself.
monthly fried rice bill is out of control.
So big thanks to those who do support us, and for everyone else, please consider making your next purchase at Leica Store Miami. We are here for you and offer that same level of lovely expert advice and just general.
That's what we're here
sense of-
for.
Yeah.
That's what
Anyway,
we're here for.
so thanks to Josh as always. Thanks to Jose, and thanks to you guys for tuning in. We will see you in 6 weeks.
Wow.
Be sure to subscribe, click the notify so you know when we're going live, because you will forget, and we will see you
We'll forget.
then. Good night, and safe travels to everyone who's getting out there and using their gear.
Good night,
See
everybody.
you last time. Bye.
Good night, guys.